Tonight, 3 divisions collide, and everything is on the line. In the main event, welterweight champion Andrew Tackett returns for his 3rd title defense, bringing with him a devastating finish streak that's tearing through the division.
He might have this. He might have this. That's tight. There's the tap! And still the welterweight champion of the world, Andrew Tackett.
Finding a challenger, that was the hard part. More than 20 athletes said no, but one man stepped forward.
This is probably the worst position to be in.
Especially with Wagner on top of you. He's just going to make your life miserable.
Wagner Rocha, a battle-tested veteran, forged through years of elite competition. He brings pressure, he brings experience, and he brings the kind of confidence earned by facing the best and beating them.
A lot of reasons why I am in the position I am is because I said yes. When you say yes, you learn to win and you learn to lose, but you learn to go through adversity to get you to where you want to be.
In the lightweight division, champion Carlos Enriquez returns to the bowl, ready to defend his crown.
There it goes right there.
This is Steven. There's the tap.
But standing across from him is a dangerous new arrival, Lucas Valente, a 2-time no-gi world champion. He's beaten the champ before, 3 times. Now he's chasing gold. Can he make it 4 and leave with the belt? And in our 3rd title fight, newly crowned featherweight champion Leverne returns. Relentless pace, suffocating pressure, no wasted movement.
Oh, her arm is in deep trouble right now. And a verbal tap, that is it!
But Rebecca Lima is surging, riding momentum from her last performance and looking to turn a title reign into a short story.
Oh, she got the tap. Rebecca Lima!
3 divisions, 3 belts, no guarantees. It's strap season, and history is waiting. Live from the Meta Apex in Las Vegas, this is UFC BJJ 7.
The bright lights, the landmarks, and the decision to go all in. There's no place quite like Las Vegas. Tonight, she plays host to elite grappling, and the best from around the world have gathered in Sin City. It is also a night of champions, where gold is on the line 3 times. It all goes down at the Meta Apex. Broadcasting to you live from inside the Meta Apex, this is UFC BJJ 7. Good evening, fight fans. I'm John Gooden, delighted to be broadcasting alongside our favourite OG, the 4th degree black belt, UFC vet Dean Thomas, and a man that's just stopping by on his victory tour right now. Big congratulations to Michael Chiesa, newly retired. We've got to talk about that. Very on brand with your win in Seattle. You got a submission, great career, Chiesa. Congratulations.
Thank you, John. Man, it still hasn't set in for me to how the fight went and just how much that fight meant to my family. It was on my parents' anniversary. It was my 22nd UFC fight. 22 is my grandpa's racing number. I felt like the universe was telling me something, and I'm glad that I listened. It was the greatest moment of my competitive career. It's hard for me to keep my emotions in check when I think about it, but to set my gloves down in my home state of Washington and get to share that moment with my wife and my mom, and it's just surreal. And to do it with my jiu-jitsu, what has been my base, what was my first love when I got into the sport of fighting, to do it in that manner and then turn around and be here just a few days later, it's perfect. So now I get to hang him up as a competitor, but you guys are stuck with me on this side of the camera for the rest of my life.
Well, I was there for that match, and I don't want to take away from your entire career because you had an amazing career. You won the Ultimate Fighter, and then you went out on your own terms, which is big. But I'm so glad to be working with you here at UFC BJJ.
Yes, sir.
Just a few days removed. He hasn't had any drinks either. He's holding off on the cake as well. But let's turn our attention to what we got coming up, because we got 3 titles on the line, got a couple of returning athletes as well. It's a massive opportunity for 16 athletes here tonight.
Huge opportunity, especially for everybody competing beneath the title fights. I feel like we got a lot of debuters that have this huge opportunity to make their mark, make a name for themselves here in the bowl. And then when you look at the top of the card, 3 title fights, all with compelling matchups or compelling storylines in those matchups, makes for a lot of excitement. Couldn't be any more pumped to be here right after my fight, calling some BJJ matches. It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah, the Meta Apex just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. As I look around, the people are here. The energy is crazy. 3 title fights, but just the exposure that these young athletes will be able to get under the UFC banner is amazing, and they should be blessed and privileged to have this opportunity.
They've all been talking about it. Massive platform tonight. Let's pull up the card to see what we have in store. So 8 matches in the bowl, 3 title contests, 3 women's pairings. We've got some big boys too. Plenty of athletes with World Championship credentials will be showing out tonight. And it all builds to the final 3 matches for UFC BJJ Gold. Michael, the headliner, will see a true combat sports veteran enter the fray as he looks to dethrone the prolific Andrew Tackett.
Oh, prolific to say the least. Listen, Andrew Tackett is the face of UFC BJJ, and the reason why is because he is so exciting to watch. He's got a very, very dynamic style. He is not afraid to take chances, and he's got a bottomless gas tank. And since moving out here to Las Vegas, he has weaponized that gas tank. He has bulletproof cardio, and I do believe he is going to need it, because I believe that this is the toughest test in terms of the toughness that Rocha is going to bring to the bowl tonight. I think it's going to go into the late rounds, and Tackett is going to need that weaponized cardio and that deep bag of tricks to take out the veteran.
But you said it, Rocha. Let's talk about him for a minute, because I've known him his entire competitive career, and he's been such an inspiration to many, myself included. He has so much history in combat. I mean, this guy made his UFC debut against Donald Cerrone on 7 days' notice. But in his grappling career, he has competed against the who's who in various weight classes. He's a multiple-time ADCC medalist, and Andrew Tackett admits that Rocha has the style and the experience to dethrone him. This is exciting, ladies and gentlemen.
They have known one another for a long time. It was all respect at the stare down yesterday. I love the storylines for that one at the top of the bill tonight. We've got more gold on the line. Dean, the lightweight title is up for grabs as well. Carlos Enriquez is taking on Lucas Valente, and it is a quadrilogy.
Well, when I see Carlos Sanhek, he's walking around with that belt. He has surely embraced that championship lifestyle. And after being absolutely dominant on the reality show, he has continued that dominance as a champion right here inside the bowl. But if he has an Achilles heel, it has been this man, Lucas Valente, who has beaten Carlos every time they have competed. Lucas, an extremely flexible jiu-jitsu player with no gi world titles to his name. This match is as equally exciting for us as it is dangerous for Carlos.
And of course, the women's featherweight title is on the line as well. Defending champion Aurelia Leverne, she will be taking on Caillio teammate Rebecca Lima.
Well, when you talk about Rebecca Lima, you got to talk about the fact she does train with Caillio, because we saw how much it has elevated her game when she took on Taylor Ellis the last time we saw her in the bowl. Taylor Ellis is known for her outside passing and the speed, and she was able to shut it down. And she got a lightning fast steam lock to punch her ticket to a title fight. But when you talk about Aurelia Leverne, her motivation goes beyond herself and being a champion. She does this for her family. And she came into enemy territory here in Las Vegas and took out Raquel Canuto with one of the best submissions that I have ever seen in the bowl. So she knows how to deal with adversity. That's why she's a champion. I absolutely love this matchup.
Cannot wait for that. Time now, however, to welcome in the 4th member of the broadcast team, Morgan Worth. Morgan, I don't know if you can tell, we're kind of excited about all 3 of those title fights, but at the very top of the card, Tackett versus Rocha. Now, you were right there when this one got put together. How did this one come about?
Well, John, just 3 short weeks ago, matchmakers were at a loss of what to do with welterweight champion Andrew Tackett. Vice President of UFC Fight Pass, Stephen Tecchi, told me over 20 of the top grapplers in the world said no. So they had to turn to a legend of the sport in the 4th-ranked welterweight Rocha, who, by the way, is 21 years older than the champion and making his debut in the bowl here tonight. It all went down around halfway through the last UFC BJJ event, a night where Rocha was already in the building cornering his daughter, Jasmine. Both sides of tonight's headliner agreed, signed the contract, and faced off in the center of the bowl, knowing it would lead to this moment just 21 days later. Not hesitating at all, the 43-year-old 5th-degree black belt spelled it out simply, saying, "I just want it more than the next guy." And Rocha acknowledged that saying yes to opportunities like this is the reason why he's built a reputation for himself in the sport. But now for the champion, 22-year-old Andrew Tackett, he feels a win over Rocha is one to add to his resume, telling me it's not every day we get to see a veteran go against a rising star from 2 different generations. Tonight, the champ is seeking his 3rd successful title defense, and he's not leaving his preparation with no stone unturned. He told me he's here to answer the question, what's better, experience or youth? And John, we should have that answer shortly.
Cannot wait for that one. What a storyline at the top of the card. All right, before we get to the action, let's dive into the rules. 3 judges will score the matches. A 10-point must scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer. The bout duration are 3 5-minute rounds. The judges will score the matches based on the following in this order: initiation of bout ending techniques, effective action, and duration of control defined by position and pace. Here we go, folks. So returning featherweights aiming to secure their first win inside the UFC BJJ Bowl face-off to open the night as American Willink takes on Brazil's Joya. It is USA versus Brazil. Both women are in their mid-20s. Willink is representing Victory MMA, whilst Joya reps Machado Jiu-Jitsu. To get us going here for UFC BJJ 7, here's Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UFC BJJ 7, Tacket versus Rocha. Live from Meta Apex, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now streaming on UFC BJJ YouTube and broadcasting around the world. Our first match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the women's featherweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 144.5 pounds, out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Joya. And now introducing her opponent in the red corner with an official weight of 144.5 pounds, out of San Diego, California, USA, Willink. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
So here we go with our first contest. You ready? Joya, she's in the blue. Willink is in the black and red. Straight to action. Forcing Willink right against the side of the bowl is Joya early. She does enjoy more of a top game, fellas. But we've also seen how much Willink favors the bottom game as well, and she will hunt for legs.
Yeah, she's got a really, really good K-guard, and I love the way that she sets up her footlocks and her leg entanglements. But just like you said, that patented pressure from Joya right away in the first round.
Yeah, and I would have loved to have seen a little bit more footwork from Joya to keep her away from that slope of the ball. If you're going to get taken down, you kind of want that in the middle.
So both of these ladies have featured on UFC BJJ before, had a lot of discussion this week about the bowl, the dynamic, how a lot of athletes now are trying to train with something similar, but not quite the sloped surface. They're in open play at the moment, but it's got to be a lot of kind of awareness of the environment. The IBJJF guys and gals will know that well. As once again, we see Joya forcing Willink against the bowl.
I love the takedown defense I'm seeing from Willink right now. She was working a 2-on-1, trying to get to the corner and go behind, and using really good takedown defense, especially against the slope of the bowl. She was able to use her hips, stay out front. Now she's working from this front headlock position. Joya's going to have to be very cautious in the way that she approaches her next movement. She's got to fight the hands of Willink and try to free her head and get in control her posture.
And Dean, how unique is that to have that higher ground when you're defending a takedown?
Well, and I was just saying, you know, you don't want to get taken down at the bottom of the bowl, but what Willink did is she ran up the bowl to give her some height, to give her that gravity, and now she has more leverage to defend that takedown, and it set her up for that front headlock.
Well, Willink came out all smiles and dancing for her debut. She has been a very positive ball of energy this week as well. She has been doing her best to train in an environment with the sloped surfaces, so she's much more accustomed to that. Joya training in Rio for this one at Pyramid, which is becoming a real hotbed for a lot of people that are doing their fight camps.
I like what Rana was doing right there. She's trying to jack up that right underhook and run a knee tap. You saw her change her levels, take left hand to block that knee. But she's doing a really good job controlling that underhook. What I would like to see her do is use some head position. Use the head position with the underhook to get Joya to turn away from her. And that'll make it easier for her to change levels, drop angles, and get that knee pick takedown.
Well, she did say she's been wrestling a lot for this in preparation, and you can see that now, like you said, that knee pick she's trying to hit there, and just her confidence on the feet seems a lot more than we've seen from her before.
Yes, Willink been trying to round out her game.
And there she does it again, like you said, Dean. She almost runs backwards to get some height on the slope of the bowl to help defend those takedowns. Savvy stuff from Rana in this first round.
Nice takedown by Joya. Let's see what she can do with it from here.
Yeah, but Rana's got a nice bite on this guillotine. I like how she's going to get her butterfly hooks involved to see if she can get a sweep. Joya postures out of it. This is huge as we close into this last minute of this first round.
Yeah, Willink probably should have been a little bit more aggressive on that guillotine, because that's how she can get a little bit more points on this. I mean, it wasn't that close, but maybe she could have adjusted it a little bit to make it even closer.
If she would have bit down on it a little harder, maybe drew a reaction out of Joya,
for sure,
get the judge's attention. There is a game to be played when you're inside the bowl. Obviously, there is a judging criteria, but you need to draw a reaction out of your opponent, especially in these close rounds.
Nice over tie there by Willink to lock the arm. Joya escapes as Willink looks up at the clock, 30 seconds left.
See, I like what Rana's doing, like I said, with this. She uses that right underhook, and she wants that knee pick, but she's letting Joya win the head position. Joya's able to keep facing Rana. Rana needs to get her to look away so she can change levels when she refaces so she can get that knee pick.
Feet off the fence, hands off the wall. Just be mindful of that. Circle off of it.
Yeah. She doesn't want to do jiu-jitsu with you. See what I'm saying? So, do jiu-jitsu with her.
She's going to get aggressive when she gets against the wall, so emphasize circling center, okay?
Yeah.
And then we can play our game. We can go for, and remember, if you want to go for the knee tap, look for head placement on the inside. We want to be on the inside and opens. We can always use it to pull into the legs too.
All right, let's recap some of this action from that first round. We see Joya pushing in hard on this takedown, gets the double leg, sits Willink to her seat. Now we see her try to do it again, but Willink gets a little height, circles off of the bowl, gets her legs back, goes to the front headlock. We see it again. Willink gets taken down again, but uses it to try to set up a guillotine. I was hoping that she would put a little bit more effort into that guillotine. That might have given her some points in the judge's favor.
You can trot her against the wall too.
Fica bem ativa nisso.
Tenta desconectar mais.
Try to disconnect it. Don't let her connect it.
Round number 2, and you might have spotted the great Jocko Willink in the corner of Rana Willink. That is, of course, her father. Started his daughter very young in jiu-jitsu, and he told her, play jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, the beauty in this format, John, is essentially it's 3 matches. So when you in between rounds, you can make adjustments. And if there's an adjustment, if I'm Willink, the adjustment I'm going to make is play jiu-jitsu. Play to your strengths. Let's get to your K-guard. Let's try to get some leg entanglements. I know she wants to win this wrestling battle right now, but she's best served making an adjustment. She's got to win a round because, to me, she's down 1.
And that means pulling guard. I would recommend her pull guard and get right to her offense right away, because that's the one way you can play jiu-jitsu on your terms.
Yes.
And that is to pull guard.
Good head position by Joya on that, but Willink muscles out, digging for that underhook.
And the good thing for Willink as well is she's doing good with her wrestling ties, so she could get a really good guard pull off the underhook, off the 2-on-1. She's maintaining good connection on the feet. This would be a good segue for her to pull guard with some connection, and then you can immediately start to attack submissions and sweeps instead of sitting to an open guard and having to find a connection from the pull.
Yeah, so don't just sit down and scoot towards him. There we go. Now we see, now she did it. She took a shot and she pulled guard, but she's got to get going right away. You can't stop here. Start to try to elevate, get your butterflies in, start to create some type of activity to where you can attack a leg or a sweep.
She's hunting for Choi Bar, the left arm of Carol Joya.
Yeah, she's got her left arm through. But this is where the slope of the bowl can come into play a little bit. She's right at the bottom of it. Let's see if she can roll towards the center because Joya sniffed out that Choi Bar attempt. So she's got to start chaining her attacks together. And if I'm Willink, I'm going to start chaining my attacks towards open space, not towards the slope of the bowl.
Right, because it's almost like trying to submit somebody against the fence. They just hit the fence, they don't go. And that was what Willink needed to do. Like, once she missed that Choi Bar, she needed to try to off-balance her in some fashion to open up something else for her. And it's very difficult to off-balance them up against that bowl wall.
Yes.
Both of these women ran into Bellamere inside the UFC BJJ Bowl. Took a lot from their respective experiences. Both had a lot of fun, a lot to work on as well.
Well, Bella is the future of combat sports.
Yeah, you're high on Bella's career, aren't you? I know you've known her
Big
for a very long
time. National champion in wrestling, undefeated as a fighter, undefeated here at UFC BJJ. The options are endless for Bella Mir.
Well, trying to sweep and maybe look for the leg, but Joya cute to it.
Take the arm again. Remember, we played the arm to the leg.
Z-guard for Willink, who binds her feet in that half-guard position.
Minute 30, Rana, minute 30.
Willink doing a good job using her frames to alleviate some of that pressure from Carol Joya. You can't let Carol get past your frames because she applies so much pressure. Once she can get past your frames and get into a side control, it is going to be so hard to create space for you to get to any type of regard. You almost get forced into conceding bad positions and giving up your back if she can get past your frames. So good on Willink to regard and get into a leg and take him. Like, give herself a shot at winning this match right now. She's got a good bite on this heel hook.
Willink was talking to us about her knee bars. The knee line is safe for Joya, but let's see what Willink can do from here. What are you looking for here, Chiesa?
Well, I would like to see her try to get her hips above the knee of Joya, because right now Joya's freed herself. She's free of that knee line, but also she can come up and sweep up and get on top and start to apply some top pressure of her own. But what I would like to see her do, whether she wants to play on bottom or work to get on top, is you have to maintain connection.
Yeah, I think she should have did that a little sooner. She stopped in the middle of her momentum. Once she lost that knee line, she should have came right up to the sweep. It would have gave her a little bit more momentum to attack another submission right off of that.
10 seconds left in round number 2.
If she had more time left, that's exactly what I was going to say. She's got to drop on that Kimura.
She's looking to it. She will run out of time, however.
Breathe. Just breathe right now. I need you to use your left leg a little more. Whenever you're passing her, like she attacks every time you put your right leg and you give it to her, she attacks it. Let's start dominating the center, attacking, and then when you're passing guard, I want you to you first. The lead leg is the left leg. Okay, she takes your right leg. Good, you got it. Great. This is 3 rounds. This is for you to, you're supposed to deliver and everything, but go for it.
15 seconds. Get out there, get aggressive. If you're gonna stand up at all, do super aggressive takedowns. Go for it. The worst case scenario, she stuffs it. You're on the bottom. Good. Who cares? You just want to entangle with her, arms, legs, the whole 9 yards. Do jiu-jitsu with her.
You can conserve your energy on the ground too. Like, she has to pursue you, and every time she does, she gets fucked basically.
Take it to her, Rana. Take it to her. There you go. Thanks.
Direct instruction there from the Willink corner. And you were nodding along, Chiesa. You like what they were suggesting to their athlete?
Absolutely. You need connection. So Whether you want to try to wrestle with her or get on top, or if you want to play to your guard, who cares? Just maintain a connection with her. So it's like me and Jacques are on the same page right now.
Yeah, and I do like what they're saying. Just she needs to be a little more consistent with her attacks. Like, she stops her momentum. But I think the longer the exchanges go, I think the more advantages that Willink has. I think that she has better jiu-jitsu in the longer exchanges.
There's that patented pressure. Carol Joya walking her back on a straight line, making it a physical match, something that she does very well.
Yeah, she had ambitions of being an MMA fighter in her teenage years, directed her efforts towards grappling. Her sister's actually a world champion no-gi player as well.
She's like a little tank.
Oh, and look at that. Willink's got a good bite on that guillotine, but Joya frees her head. Now she's in a front headlock situation of her own. Let's see if she can snap Willink down to her elbows. Take advantage of this front headlock.
Isso, joga pra trás e abraça essa perna dela com o seu braço direito. Cuidado, cuidado. Não gostou.
That was a hard landing.
That was a very hard landing, but looked like Willink was trying to maybe roll underneath for a knee bar.
Just working on foot, nicely cleared by Joya.
See, and that was what I was explaining before. Like, Willink seems to just stop in the middle of her moves. She needs to extend her moves and her combinations a little bit longer, and I think she would have an advantage.
Now she's got a good isolation on Joya's right leg. She's high up on the hip. Looks like she's going to sit back for this knee bar.
Willink corner telling their athlete to take her time. Watch her to sit back. Yeah,
she's got the knee bar.
And she gets the tap. Rana Willink with a knee bar submission. Dean, she teased it earlier in the week to us. She's been working on the knee bars.
She's been working on the knee bar. The opportunity presented itself.
Beautiful.
She took full advantage of it. Knee bar submission.
That was incredible, and that you can see she's listening to her dad. You can hear Jocko say, hey, finish on top and win this round. And I love the way she was able to disconnect the defense, Carol Joya, and get the submission. But look at this. She gets a nice isolation on that right leg of Carol. And look at, once she's able to push the left foot away, right here, look at the way she's able to push the left foot away, gets the legs to disconnect, and then she just attaches the foot to her chest and arches with her hips. Beautiful knee bar submission to kick things off tonight. Let's look at this replay again. Look, she starts to sit back. Her hips are in the right position. The knee is deep. Once she pulls that left foot away, gets it disattached from the leg she's attacking, just straps that submission on and gets the tap. What a great opening.
I love that.
To this event.
I love how she didn't touch the leg that she was actually going for with the hand and then just snap that on.
That was beautiful.
Nicely done. Let's make this one official. We'll send it over to Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in round number 3, declaring the winner by submission via knee bar, Rana Willink.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Rana Willink. Congratulations, you get your first win in the bowl. How are you feeling after that one?
I'm so stoked, so excited. It was a tough match, but able to pull it through in the third round, so super stoked.
You certainly were, and you've been telling us all week or earlier this week that you were looking for that knee bar. So what presented itself that you thought you would be able to capitalize on?
So the stand-up rounds were a bit like cagey, so I wanted to figure out how I can pull into the legs and make something happen. And then when I went for that outside, like heel hook, she connected her feet, and then I just turned to 411 and made that knee bar happen.
You made it happen. A lot of interesting matchups in the featherweight division. The belt's on the line tonight. Is there anyone you have your eye on?
Whoever. I'm down to fight whoever. Let's go. I love jiu-jitsu.
You heard it here. Congratulations. Back in the win column, Rana Willink.
Congratulations to Rana Willink She gets her first win inside the UFC BJJ Bowl. She told us this week that in her debut, she was picked up from the airport. She was getting paid to compete in Jiu-Jitsu. She just got a little bit wide-eyed, but you can see that level of comfort came through from probably about the second round. And then she did a great job taking home the submission here in Las Vegas. Congratulations to her. Let's see what the matchmakers have in store down the line. Time now to look ahead to our women's flyweight contest. We check back in with Morgan, who caught up with Alex Enriquez, presented by Dialed Labs, the sauna that can change your weight class.
John, thank you so much. Alex, you're making your return to the bowl tonight. What did you learn from your first outing in October to help you dial in for your match against Del?
I think after getting the experience, getting to feel the bowl, getting to feel the canvas, the environment, after all that, I'll have a nice edge and just the familiar sense of, okay, I belong here. It's not so brand new, and I'm ready to go out there and give a great performance for everyone to see.
Alex, thank you so much. We're excited to see that. That match is coming up.
UFC BJJ 7 is presented by Hayabusa. The battles you choose shape who you are. Hayabusa, crafted for warriors, built for your fights. Visit HayabusaFight.com to learn more. By Hampton Adams, power does not come from force, it comes from control. Every grip, every pull, locked in. The official finger tape of UFC BJJ. By Puffco. Puffco makes every moment a main event. The best concentrate experience is only with Puffco technology. And by Dialed Labs, the official sauna of UFC BJJ. Dialed Labs, pull guard, not your groin. Recovery is as important as inside position.
So wavy, I do what I want, it feel amazing. I'm too smooth, I see why they hating. Why they worrying about me, I'm celebrating. Yeah, that's just how it be. Do my own thing, respectfully. You gotta keep it real to be next to me. Rocking high fashion on the shopping spree. Yeah, let's go to the bank. I do what I want, I don't care about what they think.
So here we go, folks, with match number 2, featuring a no-gi world champion in the juvenile ranks, Rafael Feda, who looks to continue establishing himself in the professional ranks as he debuts opposite Kenzo Bong. It is USA versus the Netherlands. Feda is the youngest on the card at 18. He is 10 years more junior than Bong. Feda wears the patch of unified BJJ, and Bong reps grappling division. To get us going, here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 144 pounds, out of the Netherlands, Kenzo, Mr. Easy Bong. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner with an official weight of 144.5 pounds, out of South Jordan, Utah, USA, Rafael Ferreira. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin Ribeiro.
Well, buckle up, folks. This one could be fast and furious. Kenzo Bong is in the blue, sliding his way down, matched by Rafael Ferreira, who is all action, very exciting youngster from Utah.
I mean, Feda, in one of his previous matches I watched, legitimately 4 submission attacks in the first 30 seconds. And we're talking deep submission attacks. This guy is pure offense, but still finds a way to be defensively sound amidst the chaos that he brings into his matches. I'm very excited to watch this young man tonight.
We've got a very strong Kenzo Bong from the Netherlands, however. He is a former soccer player who left the sport to care for his sister who suffers from autism. He has been using his platform this week. It went viral, actually, when he was speaking about autism awareness. As he looks to sweep his way back, but Rafa Ferreira is one of the most impressive young men that I've had the pleasure of interacting with. He has got his stuff together, let me tell you, and he is a very dynamic jiu-jitsu player. Still finding his feet in the game. but he's got that swagger. He's definitely very marketable.
Well, it's part of it is because, like, when you're 5 years old and you start competing in jiu-jitsu at that time, your body just becomes accustomed to the movements. When you think about guys like Jalen Fonashir, they know how to do jiu-jitsu just as good as they know how to walk.
Yeah. Look at his dexterity as well. Such a flexible game. He climbs his way to the back, immediately under the chin as well.
He's got a deep bite on this, guys.
That was a slick back take to set up the submission attempt. And Bong is fighting hard at the hands. He does a great job, but a reattachment from Feda. I love the way he shimmies that under the chin. Bong shaking the finger.
Oh, he's got it now.
Yeah, you see the forearm.
That's tight.
The neck.
He gets the tap. It is quick work by Feda. This kid has a bright future. Just 18 years young, Dean, and he can do stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's 18 years young, but he's been grappling the majority of his life. His guard is just as good as, his guard play is as good as he can walk to the bathroom.
He told me he likes to bring order in the chaos, and he did that early.
Now look at this. He's gone over the top with his leg, and he just uses that to climb around to the back of Bong. Look, like you said, the dexterity. Look at the dexterity. But as soon as he climbs onto the back, he attacks the neck right away. Doesn't give Bong a chance. He doesn't go for a seatbelt, but he attacks the neck right away. He gets his arms in position. Bong is like, no, I got this. I'm okay. But this is what happens. When you think you're okay, that arm sneaks right under the chin. Forearm sneaks under the chin, and you get the submission. Sometimes it helps to have skinnier arms, and that was a case where it helped.
Those pipe cleaners were put to work tonight for Rafael Feda. Let's give him his moment. Here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vitor Ribeiro calls a stop to the match in round number 1, declaring the winner by submission via rear naked choke, Rafael Pereira.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Rafael Feda. Congratulations, man, quick work. Did the debut live up to your expectations?
Man, this debut lived up to everything I was expecting and more. I'm built for a big stage. I've been waiting for an opportunity like this to demonstrate my jiu-jitsu to everybody. My jiu-jitsu is beautiful, and it comes easy. The submissions fall in my hands. That's how I roll.
The submission tonight fell in your hands. You scooped up that rear naked choke. At one point, Kenzo was kind of waving it off, but when did you know you were gonna have it?
The minute I got it, the minute I felt his back, I knew that it was meant to be. I'm a big believer that things that are supposed to be in your life, they will come easy. And that came easy. This opportunity, it came easy. You don't have to fight. You don't have to grind. You just have to keep working. You have to believe. Have to keep it in your heart.
Well, it looked easy tonight. Man, you're only 18 years old. What are your goals, and what does the future look like for you here at UFC BJJ?
The future for me here at UFC BJJ? Man, I think everybody liked this match. I think everybody watching liked this match. If the UFC wants me back, they know where to find me.
That's a mic drop. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the youngest competitor on the card, Rafael Feda.
Yeah, I've got a feeling they're going to call your cell pretty soon, Rafa, so keep that one live. He said his style of jiu-jitsu is reflective of his personality. He celebrates big, he brings light to rooms, that big positive energy. Great to be both sides to watch him do his thing. The juvenile stud making an impact at the pro ranks. So UFC BJJ is back on Thursday, May 21st, and we'll be announcing matches all night. First to announce, we have Kazakhstan's Azamat Bakitov stepping back into the bowl to face off against submission hunter Thomas David in a middleweight clash. Catch all of the action live and free on the UFC BJJ YouTube channel. In the building ahead of his main event spot, there's the reigning champion, Andrew Tackett, a new generation talent with a relentless pace and a dynamic submission game. He is quickly becoming one of the most exciting grapplers in the sport. Tonight, he defends his welterweight title on the biggest stage, looking to tighten his grip on his belt to make a statement that he is unshakable from his welterweight premiership. And here comes the challenger, Wagner Rocha, a veteran of the game, built on experience, grit, and a lifetime on the mats. Rocha has faced the best from multiple weight classes. He has tested himself across disciplines, and now he arrives with one goal, and that is to claim UFC BJJ gold. He is very well aware of the steep task ahead tonight, but he has seen holes, and he will use his experience to keep the young champion on a leash. He'll impose his will and take the title the hard way.
UFC Fight Night is back with elite 155ers in the spotlight. Camaraderie is tossed aside as teammates Renato Moicano and Chris Duncan seek signature finishes in the main event. Plus, Vina Jandiroba and Tabitha Ricci meet in a pivotal strawweight bout. Catch all the action live from Las Vegas this Saturday, streaming on Paramount Plus.
It is the heavyweights in the bowl next as two-time UFC Fight Pass Invitational competitor Brazilian Patrick Aldo makes his UFC BJJ debut in a matchup with fellow newcomer Australian Declan Moody. 3 years separates the men in age. Moody is 4 inches taller. He'll represent Simple Man, and Caillio is 30 minutes across town at Kingsway. Here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 225 pounds, out of Adelaide, Australia, Declan, the White Monster, Moody. And now, introducing his opponent in the red corner, with an official weight of 226 pounds, out of Austin, Texas, USA, Patrick Lion Caillio. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
So here we go with the heavyweight fixture as we see Caillio in the red, got Moody in the blue. This is a little bit of a change-up on the last minute. Moody was set to face Meregali. He was really down when he found out that he was losing his opportunity here at UFC BJJ, but step in the Lion, Patrick Caillio, teammate of Meregali. He was willing to step up at heavyweight, typically a light heavyweight, but you wouldn't know it.
I just love the mullet. I can't take my eyes off it.
That thing is epic.
I can't take my eyes off it.
Yeah, that's an award-winning mullet.
You're
right
jealous
there.
right now. You thinking back to your mullet there, Kiesa?
Yeah, I sold out for television, boys.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zach Candino for making me cut my hair.
I had to lose my beard. Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? When you put that investment into something.
Cut me down to my prime.
Well, Caillio said he was ready. He said no matter what, he wanted this opportunity. He was ready, and he looks to be confident. As he was standing, I was noticing the body language of both competitors, and Moody looked a little nervous. Now that might just be his pre-match demeanor, but Caillio looked very confident going into this.
And when I did my research on both of these guys, Caillio a little bit more flat-footed with his wrestling. Declan does a good job chaining together, the arm drags, the go-behinds. He's got a good understanding of trapping his opponent's underhooks. And one thing that impresses me about Declan Moody is when this fight hits the mat, he does a very, very good job chaining together his passing attempts and the way he chains together his offense. He does a very, very good job constantly going to plan. It's not just plan A for his passing. He'll go to B and C very seamlessly.
Oh, his guard pass, and he's like clearing land.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a bulldozer once he gets on top. Now, I had spent some time with Nicky Rod last weekend in Camp Joe Pfeiffer, and I asked him about Declan Moody because he's one of his main training partners, and he said this guy is a savage, and if he gets on top, he's passing and submitting anybody. And now we see him on top. Let's see if he can live up to that.
He is, but he's got his work cut out for himself as we see his shoulder crunch from Caillio on bottom, but nicely limped arm out by Moody. He's very confident in that top position, Dean. He reaffirmed that to us this week. Caillio on the other side, you talk about Nicky Rod, but Meregali, I mean, one of the best in the gi to ever do it. He is the main training partner. He trains with Caillio. So these guys in elite rooms.
One thing about Moody as well is he's very nimble for a big guy. Yes. We saw his balance in that little exchange there, and I asked him about that. He said it's because he said he used to be smaller. When he first started training, he was a lightweight. and he's still able to use the techniques in a similar fashion, even though he's bigger now.
Oh, they're going leg for leg here. Bit of a shootout in the desert.
Patrick, get up. Get up, Patrick.
So you see Moody trying to put pressure on that left heel to get it down to the mat.
Let's keeping the head off the mat.
And he hits the underhook as well on Caillio. Out of danger here, Chiesa?
Not quite. I would like to see what Caillio's doing right now. He's trying to roll back underneath to attack that left leg of Moody. The leg he was initially attacking, but now he finds himself on the ropes. He's got Declan Moody on his back. And Declan, like you said, for how nimble he is, that was very apparent when he took on Mayron McKinney, one of the upstarts we saw in the last UFC BJJ events. He was able to match him with how nimble and fast he was.
He's got a good squeeze here. You can see Caillio.
He's got
it. Big Declan Moody, the white monster. He gets a big tap here at UFC BJJ and a roar in celebration as well.
Yeah, that was incredible. As Caillio was trying to get himself back in position to roll underneath and get to the legs, he ends up exposing his back. And you can see Declan Moody doesn't have the body triangle quite locked up, but once he's able to settle in and get that left leg across, then he gets a deep bite on that neck. And look at this here. You can see he's just trying to get his legs in position. Caillio made a crucial error. You never want to take away your lines of defense, which are your hands, to address the feet. Once he took his hands away from Declan's hands to address the feet, that's when Declan was able to strap in this rear naked choke and get the finish. Just a small half a second.
Yeah.
It makes the biggest difference in essentially living and dying inside the bowl. That one little lapse in judgment cost him the match.
Let's put this one in the books. Here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in round number 1, declaring the winner by submission via rear naked choke, Declan, the White Monster, Moody.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Declan Moody. Congratulations. Man, what a debut. How proud are you of that performance tonight?
I'm proud of myself. You know, it's always new when you come in to a big event like the UFC. You don't really know what to expect, but I'm happy.
You should be happy. You get the first round rear naked choke. When you got to the back, did you know it was going to be over quickly?
Yeah, I train with the best guys in the world, and when we get there, it's over.
Oh, certainly over very fast. What was the statement you wanted to make here in your debut tonight?
Any 205er or heavyweight on the world should be on notice, because I'm down to fight anyone. It doesn't matter. If someone pulls out the week of, I'll fight anyone in replacement. I'll fight anyone the week of. It doesn't matter. I'm ready to go.
Declan, I'm sure the matchmakers like that. Congratulations. Enjoy the win. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Declan Moody.
Heavyweight, light heavyweight, does not matter. Declan Moody said being here at UFC BJJ is an incredible opportunity, a dream come true to compete under the UFC banner and not get punched in the face. Now he moved to the US to get the highest level competition. He moved from Australia. Let's see what the UFC matchmakers have in store for him. If he can compete across 2 weight classes, that gives them a lot of options. So looking ahead to our first championship bout in the women's featherweight division, these locker room shots are brought to you by Hayabusa. Built for the battles that shape who you are, here's our Morgan.
John, thank you so much. The first of 3 title fights is coming up as featherweight phenom Aurélie Leverne brings a wealth of knowledge and an arsenal of dangerous submission skills, proving in her previous trips to the bowl, she only needs a round or less to get the job done. The French champ is in search of her first title defense and 3rd submission in the bowl as she draws surging Brazilian force Rebecca Lima. With 2 previous wins over the champ in the gi, the black belt is coming in confident. She has the edge in technique, and at just 23 years old, Lima looks to join teammate Caillio and bring back a 2nd belt to her team in Midland, Texas. The stage is set and fireworks are to be expected. That and more coming up.
Miami.
What a night. Oof.
Sunday, April 5th. A big night of Zuffa boxing. In the main event, Las Vegas' own Andres Cortez returns home. But the dangerous Erickson Garcia is coming to steal the moment. Plus, former world champion Mark Magsayo collides with the tough, determined Fergal McCrory. And Azat Crazy A Hovhannissian takes on Eduardo Baez. Zuffa Boxing 5, Cortez versus Garcia, only on Paramount Plus.
Old foes are up next. Australia's Adele Fornarino makes her UFC BJJ debut, touching down in Las Vegas to square off returning bantamweight contender USA's Alex Enriquez. Both women are 26. Enriquez is 3 inches taller. She represents Frazato Jiu-Jitsu, whilst the Aussie reps Absolute MMA and Jake O'Driscoll. With the introductions, here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the women's flyweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 125 pounds, out of Atlanta, Georgia, USA, Alex, the Chosen One, Enriquez. And now, introducing her opponent in the red corner, with an official weight of 125 pounds, out of Melbourne, Australia, Adele Daddy Fornarino. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Rivera.
I've been really looking forward to this one. Fornarino is wearing the red, Enriquez in the blue. This is a rematch. Fornarino said to me this is the best platform in which to have the rematch. If you've been across the socials, these two ladies have been having a lot of fun together as Enriquez hits a takedown early, but Fornarino is a very, very good guard player.
Oh, she's an absolute killer. You got to watch out for the mirror locks from her closed guard, and you got to watch out for the straight ankle locks. And I was looking at her BJJ Heroes record. In her last 17 matches, she has 10 straight ankle locks. So, got to protect those limbs if you're Alex Enriquez.
Yeah, she got taken down early, but I don't think this is a thing for her. I think she would prefer to be here anyway. Let's get started. And she's in her guard, and I think she has one of the most dangerous guards in all of them, in all of BJJ. Not just women, but in all of BJJ.
Absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more, Dean.
ADCC world champion at weight and absolute class.
That means she could probably choke all 3 of us out.
100%.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke.
Yeah, she remembers their first meeting very well. She actually says she kind of owes a debt of gratitude to Alex Enriquez because that loss that she suffered put her on this incredible tear that you were alluding to, Chiesa, and she really kicked on. She went on a massive run at ADCC. Been in Vegas for about 3 weeks, training at the PI and at Methods Jiu-Jitsu as well. She really wanted to compete here at UFC BJJ. It's a big audience to be unlocked. She's a huge proponent for women's sports as she inverts onto the right leg.
And now Alex Enriquez looking for a heel hook of her own. As Adele was trying to get to that straight ankle lock, you could tell Alex Enriquez definitely did her homework, but now Adele back on that straight ankle lock. She's so dangerous the way she's able to just attack and transition both legs.
Fornarino. Wow. Just chewing on the legs and gets the submission.
Oh my God.
I mean, all it takes is a second, right?
And I thought that was a mistake for Alex to go for her leg lock because you invite a shootout. And when you invite a shootout with somebody who has a quicker draw than you, it's not a good idea.
A quicker draw and a higher caliber gun, to be honest with you.
Let's check out some of the action again there, Dean.
Yeah, we see some of this leg work from Adele Fornarino. She's going for a leg lock, her own, and Alex could have gotten out. She could have, she was past the knee line, but then we see Adele Fornarino just readjusted her hips into that knee and push the knee bar here.
And what I found was interesting is it's not like the knee bar we saw from Willink, where you saw that Adele almost had the heel behind her and she arched with her body. She didn't have that chest to shin connection.
No, it was almost like behind the armpit, but just she got the knee in the exact position she needed it to be, the fulcrum right on her hips, and was able to establish that position.
All right, let's make this one official. Here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vitor Ribeiro calls a stop to the match in round number 1, declaring the winner by submission via knee bar, Adele "Daddy" Fornarino.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm with your winner, Adele Fornarino. Congratulations, man. You get it done. Your first appearance in the bowl, second matchup against Alex. How good does this one feel right now?
Oh, look, I just want to start by saying a massive thank you to Alex for taking the match. I think she's absolutely incredible. Her and her team have been nothing but respectful. I can't wait to see what she does next, honestly.
I'm excited to see her return as well. Man, you're dangerous when you get to the legs. Walk me through that knee bar submission, and was there something in Alex's game that thought you would allow you to be there?
I pride myself on being well-rounded and confident kind of in every exchange that we work on. So the legs is obviously a strong position for us, a strong position for me. Definitely been working it and always sharpening it, making sure that we're adding to the game constantly. So very happy to get a knee bar today.
It looked really sharp tonight. I know you were excited to get into the bowl. When would you like to be back?
Oh, look, I'm a little bit of a greedy motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm here for everything. I absolutely love what UFC BJJ are doing. I think they're doing incredible things. I want to be one of the first 125 titles, but most importantly, I got my eyes set on being a 2-time champion here at UFC. But let's get that 125 title happening. I really want to get my hands on one of those amazing belts.
Setting the bar high. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Australia's own Adele Fornarino.
Congratulations to Adele Daddy. Fornarino gets a win under the UFC banner, exacts revenge over Alex Enriquez as well. Let's take another look at that setup and finish. This replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring Jiu-Jitsu, your dedication and your journey.
I mean, it was just incredible leg work from Adele Fornarino. And you just see, like Dean said, Alex kind of invited that shootout when she went for a leg lock of her own, but just look at the way she was able to get the bite on that knee bar. It wasn't like the chest to shin connection you normally see. She just got her hips in the right position to where she was able to attack the fulcrum. But look, she had the heel behind her armpit, and she just extended with her back. Look at the way she looks away in just a little bit of an arch. Didn't have to put a lot of horsepower on it. It was all about the perfect angle, the perfect timing, and the right bite. And that's got to feel good for her to turn things around, because last time we saw her here at the Meta Apex, she lost a razor-close decision to Fiona Davis, so that's got to feel good for her to get back in the win column here at the Apex.
Absolutely. Congratulations once again to Adele Fornarino, getting a big win here at UFC BJJ 7. So newly crowned UFC BJJ Women's Bantamweight Champion Cassia Mora is in the house, and she's ready to get back in the bowl. Cassia will defend her title next month in the co-main event of UFC BJJ 8 against former ADCC World Champion Bianca Basillo. Watch UFC BJJ 8 on Thursday, May 21st on the UFC BJJ YouTube channel. Back to tonight. These locker room shots are brought to you by Hayabusa, built for the battles that shape who you are. And there's the defending champion, Andrew Tackett. The young phenom has an unblemished record inside the bowl, and he wants to keep it that way tonight. Preparing right here in Las Vegas, he's been getting many different looks to specifically address the threats he faces later. And across the hall, there is the challenger, Wagner Rocha. It is a family affair for the tough veteran who has traveled from Florida with his son and daughter, top pros in their own right. He has been watching the rise of Tacket. He has seen the holes, and he's ready to put his game to the test. This one for all the welterweight marbles at the top of the bill.
No, that's good. That's good level.
Yuri Prohaska, one of the most exciting fighters in the sport.
He is must-see TV.
He fights with a reckless destruction, willing to throw himself into the fire.
Carlos Ulberg. This guy is a beast. So dangerous.
Fast, powerful. He's the total package.
9 straight victories. Unstoppable, baby! going to be some hot action inside that octagon. Bring on the heat!
Miami, let's go!
Bring on the
Gary Prohaska. The guy thrives on chaos.
He's an absolute demon.
He hits so hard and he's so fast.
This man has future champion written all over him.
You're willing to walk through fire to win a world title.
Right when you think you've seen it all, there are special fighters that emerge.
Joshua Baird, the second youngest champion next to John Jones.
He's the real deal.
Tatsuro Taira, one of the best in the world.
A superstar in Japan.
Looking to become his nation's first UFC champion.
This place is on fire. Bring on
An all-action competitor who challenged for welterweight title last year, Renato Canuto aims to continue his quest for another championship opportunity tonight as he welcomes Jonathan Cardinz to the UFC BJJ Bowl for the very first time. It is Brazil versus the very first Chilean in the UFC Bowl. Biggest difference is in height. Canuto 4 inches taller. Canuto represents his own academy, Hybrid Jiu-Jitsu. Cardinz represents Apex Submission and Elemental Dojo. To get it started, here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 170 pounds, out of Caillio, Chiloé, Chile, Jonathan Yona Nogi Cardinz. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner with an official weight of 169.5 pounds. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, Renato, the hybrid Canuto. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
So Jonathan Cardinz, the Chilean, just chilling on the side of the bowl in the red, Renato Canuto. We know Canuto well here, one of the most exciting grapplers on the planet, but I feel like I've got to do a bit of an introduction for Cardinz, who is the very first competitor that we've had here from Chile. He has been preparing at the Pyramid Academy in Rio, Brazil for this one. Really interesting backstory of being from an island in South Chile. Wanted to be a pro boxer. When that didn't work out, he watched a tournament, a grappling tournament, and wanted a piece of that. And he's got his own academy today. Shoots in for a takedown in the center of the bowl.
And this is a dangerous spot to be in with Renato Canuto because his catches are lightning quick. And you see right now, working on this anaconda choke, Cardinz has his hands locked. But you can see that Renato's just slowly inching his fingers up to that bicep.
But he's got his hands locked on Canuto's leg, and if Canuto triangles his legs, he can break that lock. And I think Canuto's he's gonna wait to do that. He's gonna wait till he gets a better bite on his anaconda. Then he's gonna break that lock.
I mean, Renato Canuto's nickname might as well be Mr. Las Vegas, because when he competes, man, the crowd shows up. If he gets this submission here, this place is gonna pop off.
So we see Cardinz trying to get to his knees, Dean. Why is he doing that?
Well, I mean, you want to get to your knees. If you're in an anaconda or a Darce choke and you're on your side, you're exposed because they have the angle to squeeze in on the lock. Now, if you can get to your knees, you can open your elbow up and you can alleviate the pressure of the lock.
And we also see that Canuto's trying to collect those legs as well, Chiesa. Why is he trying to do that?
Well, Renato, if he wants to collect the legs, I'm sorry, I got a little lost because I was waiting for you to ask me about my Darce defense, but but what Renato wants to do is use his legs. He can use both of his legs on the right arm of Cardinz. If he locks the legs, he can pull the arm above his head, which will make the strangulation a little bit better. You see how he's fishing for the legs? He's trying to get that elbow of Cardinz above his head because Cardinz wants to create a wide back. So if Canuto can get that arm above his head, it makes the strangulation of this choke a lot better. Look at the way he's trying to pummel with his legs to get that arm. He wants to get the elbow above his head, and he wants to get the bicep to the ear.
Great job by Cardinz. That was like DEFCON 1. He's still not safe, but he gets back to his feet.
Yeah, that was about as close to a submission as you can get. But I mean, but when you look at Canuto, like this guy competes a lot, and I love what he's doing because when he's not competing here at UFC BJJ, he's taking MMA fights. So competition for him is like second nature right now in his life.
4 super fights in professional grappling, 4 MMA fights, all in 1 year. That is a ridiculous schedule.
Well, he's got a kid on the way.
He does. Congratulations.
He's got to pay for them diapers.
but also too is his wife is not fighting on his card, so that takes a little bit of pressure off of himself and the whole situation. That he only has to do now is focus on his match.
Very much in it together. The Canuto family, Raquel Canuto, expecting their first baby. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being on the same card as my wife and having to navigate cornering her, warming up for my match and my camp and things like that. I'm sure it's got to be a little, maybe liberating in a sense for him to be able to compete and just be able to focus on himself.
Unless your wife had an easy match. Like if she was competing against me, you would have nothing to worry about.
And we are over the shoulder of Raquel Canuto.
But we know Raquel, she's probably wishing she had a match tonight too. She's probably watching Renato right now.
She's like, oh, I could
get an itchy.
Getting the itch.
Straight back into the center of the bowl. So Cardinz, a deep breath as he got out of that arm triangle attempt from Canuto.
And, you know, it's worth mentioning, we haven't seen Renato go like, you know, hit the 6th gear and start hitting all these high-flying submissions. He's being a lot more methodical in this approach than we're used to seeing him in previous matches. A lot of times he gets on the gas very early, much like Tackett does, but he's kind of taking his time right now.
And I think he recognizes that he does have 15 minutes to do this.
Yes.
So, and I think he wanted to maybe feel Cardinz out a little bit. And I think he's, you know, he sees what he feels. I think at some point he will turn the gas on.
Yeah, Cardinz didn't have all of the resources and the opportunities that a lot of the other guys from Brazil and perhaps USA had. He was alongside another white belt just trying to learn online and put it all together until he managed to get some resources and develop his game out further afield in South America. Here he is today at UFC BJJ. He's come a long way.
Yeah.
That's it. He's just waiting for you. Listen, he gave you the best that he could, and you took it, and you were able to surrender. You sustained that, okay? Listen, you found the rhythm right now.
Arm drags. But get him a little bit more tired and you're going to be able to get him.
The snaps are working. All his weight's in his heels too, so the snap will be hard. That's why I just, boom. Just reach, snap.
Yeah, let's stay over him.
Take a look at some of these replays from round 1, and you see Cardinz get to this shot, and Renato did a very good job. As Cardinz was trying to get to the angle, he got the head underneath his chest, which enabled him to sprawl and start attacking this anaconda choke. And as he was trying to inch his fingers up to his bicep, Cardinz did a good job getting his chest to the mat and was able to wrestle his way out of this position. But it was a very, very deep submission attack from Renato Canuto. Guys, it's worth noting, I feel like Renato Canuto right now is grappling much more like an MMA fighter than a jiu-jitsu player like we've seen in the past.
And that's very fair to say. I mean, he's probably spends more of his time right now focusing on his MMA career to try to catch up.
Puffco, the concentrate experience perfected.
Yeah, we're not seeing any flying submission attacks. We're not seeing, you know, the flying scissor leg entanglements and things of that sort that we're used to seeing from Renato. And it's not a bad thing that he's grappling more like an MMA fighter, because I like what he's doing here. I like the hard hands. I like the snaps. I like the attacks from the front headlock.
And about 10 seconds ago, he just walked up with a Philly shell. I swear it. He walked up with a Philly shell. There it goes again.
Well, Cardinz actually had a couple of MMA fights, some pro boxing matches as well, but he busted up his hands, so he had to say goodbye to that career. But if ever you're on vacation, I nearly went all British on you there, in Chile with your dog Volk, and he gets into a little trouble, go see Cardinz. He's a vet by day.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dog likes to get into some stuff, so if I'm ever down south of the border and he gets into some stuff, I'm going to hit him up.
Oh, that's cuffing necktie by Canuto, but he ends up on his back.
It's a flying attempt at like a flying guard pull, a flying triangle.
He couldn't contain himself. He had to get to it at some point.
Got to get airborne. But that's true to his style.
Yeah.
So that's good for him if he really wants to start turning up the volume on this match and crank that dial, then start hitting those flying subs. And I like this nice overhook that he's got on the right arm of Cardinz.
Well, something's going to have to happen here. Either Canuto's going to have to open his guard up, or Cardinz is just going to have to really start to spam out to get that guard open and start to try to initiate a pass. But you won't do it chest to chest that way.
And it's also worth noting that Cardinez's corner is imploring for him to move this match towards the edge of the bowl. So maybe that part of their game plan is to use the slope of the bowl in their favor in this match. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get Canuto to the edge of the slope. And you can see he's driving. He's trying to drive off his feet to almost drive him backwards.
Well, nice attempt at a body lock pass here by Cardinz, but Canuto puts him back. He keeps looking at the right shoulder, but not enough action, I take it.
No.
Referee stands him back up.
And there's Canuto going hard on the head again. And what Canuto wants to do is when you keep clubbing your opponent and you keep just hanging on their head, you want to break their posture because it wears them out. And then once you start to fatigue them and they can't maintain a wrestling stance, they start to stand tall. So that snap can turn into a beautiful shot. You snap them, they stand tall, you shoot underneath, or you keep clubbing them until they hit their hands, and then you can get to your short offense.
Like, I want to go back to something that you was talking about him being an MMA guy doing jiu-jitsu right now. And it was very apparent when he was in his guard, because it comes down to those micro moments and the decisions that you make. Now, when he was in the guard, he was kind of hesitant, as if he didn't really know what he was looking for. And because doing MMA is probably thinking about elbowing a guy or standing up, and in those micro moments. But now he's in a jiu-jitsu setting where it's all about just doing jiu-jitsu. And he might have been a little off time with his attacks.
It seemed like he was hesitating just a little bit. And listen, he's one of the highest level black belts we've ever seen here, you know, in the Meta Apex. But when you spend time focusing on one craft, it's hard to balance. When you have too many irons in the fire, you know, you can not get lost of sorts, but kind of get away from your A game when it comes to jiu-jitsu. Like when he had the overhook, I was thinking, okay, at some point this guard's gonna open up and he's gonna start hunting for a triangle, start stuffing the wrist, or if Cardinz stands up to try to break that full guard, is he gonna underhook and roll to the legs? And there was a little bit of a hesitation in those micro moments.
Oh, nice entry here by Canuto. He gets Cardinz down to the mat.
Now he's got chest to back connection.
That was interesting.
And this is a good spot, no matter whether it's just BJJ or MMA. It won't matter from here. Once you got the back and you're fishing for that choke, with the exception of throwing elbows to the head, you're in a good spot. It looks like he's going to set up this arm triangle, though.
And he's got just a sliver of time left in the second round to go for the submission.
15.
You see him trying to drop some shoulder pressure on the neck of Cardinz.
10 seconds left as he takes the mount.
I thought he was going to wind up and throw a left there for a second.
There
I'm like,
it is.
whoa.
You can see it.
He's just saying he could.
just letting you know.
I can do this right now.
Just so you know.
Yeah, say something I don't like.
Catch your breath. Hey, he is super tired though, but we still don't want to make mistakes. That's just. But he's gassed. If you can get him down faster, just watch. Of course, he's looking for the guillotine, exactly what he tried to do.
Hey,
Catch your breath, deep breath.
When you press him up to the edge of the bowl and you're tied up with him, don't think with your hand, just throw your foot in, and now you'll be able to snap it. Okay, so just throw your foot in, and then that's your make him react, and then snap. So it's not a hand fake, just throw your foot in, that's it. Yeah. And it should be there, and snap with both hands.
He's dead, Canuto.
One hand on the head, and then the other hand's
You need water, it's 15 seconds. 15 seconds, 10, need water? We got 5 more minutes, you got a lot of time, don't need to turn around. He's gassed though, so let's keep staying heavy on that head from the start. Get him down, snap him down, put him down.
So the Canuto corner believe that Cardinz has gassed as they look to turn it up here in the third round.
Nice down block from Renato Canuto. And look at even the ties. Even when he's not clubbing the head, it's like jabs and crosses. Little jabs, little crosses, touching the shoulders. And Cardinz gets a really nice double leg takedown right into a body lock position. See if he can pass a butterfly guard of Renato Canuto right now.
Just getting word from some of the communication in a Cardinz corner. They asked their man how his wrist was. They've also identified that they're 2 down and they need to get a finish in the third. Can't tell you which wrist. Never great for grappling.
No.
That's always been my excuse. I'm like, nah, my wrist.
Action blue.
I barely have a wrist, too. It's like just this little twig.
Now you got me moving my wrist to see what I'm working with. Now that I'm retired, I don't know what kind of my arthritis is kicking in.
Oh, you needed that wrist for downing in beers.
12-ounce curls,
knocking
baby.
them back. But these butterfly hooks are good for Canuto. He's just got to find a way to get, or so Jason's going to stand him back up. But other than that, like, you want to use them butterfly hooks to try to elevate and get him off balance a little bit so you can find some offense.
Heavy on the collar ties.
It looks like, I think Canuto's setting up a slide by right now. You can see with his right arm, he's like over tying that left arm of Cardinz. See, and there's those lead hand jabs I was alluding to. Very much an MMA fighter / wrestler type of thing to do. You can use your lead hand to post and jab, kind of prodding at your opponent. But I think what's really wearing Cardinz down, like I said, is how much Canuto's just hammering the head right now. Just hard collar ties, breaking his posture. It is so fatiguing, when somebody's just constantly on your head, nonstop, snapping you to the mat.
Clubbing you like a baby seal.
Yeah.
Wow. But just that posterior chain is just being attacked constantly.
What a beautiful super duck. That was nice, Sean.
Flicking his hips.
Oh, man. Now he's starting to turn up the heat with the passing. Getting on the front headlock here.
Moves to the back. Nicely done by Canuto.
Yeah, he's turning the heat up right now, boys. And I like what he's got right now. He's got a leg ride with his right leg, and he's got that left leg as an anchor where he uses that left ankle to scoop underneath the left ankle of Cardinz. It's part of a crab ride. I call it an anchor. Tomato, tomato, it all works the same.
Well, and this isn't a bad strategy for Canuto because they recognize that Cardinz was starting to slow down, and Canuto just using his experience at these 3 5-minute rounds. That is, wear him down, beat him up in the first 2, and then put the heat on in the third, see if you can't try to get a finish.
Little muffler there as well as he's advancing through positions.
Call that one the enchilada.
The enchilada?
The enchilada. I can't tell you the story why we call it the
please
enchilada.
do.
We'll have to wait till we're off the broadcast.
Okay, fine.
Commercial break.
You'll put that up on your OnlyFans account, right?
Hey, that's been my retirement plan.
Canuto trying to pass the guard here.
I would be surprised if we see him backstep towards the left. But right as I say that, Cardinz gets his hips to reface him. It is a thing of beauty when you see Renato Canuto start to surf and pass on top, and the way he switches his hips and pummels with his legs. I mean, it's mesmerizing. To me, it's, when you think of Renato Canuto, you talk about the high-flying submissions and the things of that sort, but to me, when I watch Renato Canuto, I'm just mesmerized by the way that he approaches his passing game. It is a thing of beauty.
The different angles he's looking for. He's looking for the rail drag as well to clear the top arm.
He just makes it look so effortless. He looks like he's 10 steps ahead of his opponents.
Yeah, in Cardinz's game, he's trying his best to stay in this. He's doing everything he can to stay in this. I think he's just a bit outmatched.
He's going back to that anaconda choke. He's got the hands broke of Cardinz right now, and let's see if he can get this tap with 15 seconds left. You see how he's using that left leg to force the right bicep of Cardinz up to his ear.
Looking to take the mounted choke, but it didn't get it into a triangle setup. But Cardinz, he spits it out, and it goes to the judges' scorecards. This replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring Jiu-Jitsu, your dedication at your journey.
Canuto pitching a shutout here. We see him with this collar tie here and the grip. He's got the collar tie, snaps down Cardinz, just all over him all night. Here we see Canuto on this single leg, runs the pipe, avoids the guillotine, again with the tie up, hits that duck under, and then that's when he started that passing pressure side to side, windshield wiper and out, almost got the back step. We see that knee cut, good control from Canuto. Kind of an easy night on the job for Canuto. I think he pitched a shutout.
Looks a little frustrated. We send it inside for the official decision. Here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have your winner by unanimous decision, Renato, the hybrid Canuto.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Renato Canuto. Congratulations. Not the submission you were looking for, but man, a dominant decision. How do you evaluate your performance tonight?
I'm a hard judge of myself, so I was not too happy. I feel like I had him in the very beginning. That threw me off a little bit. Didn't find myself quite flowy as usual today, so trying to get through it. Thought I was gonna get tired enough and I was gonna be able to figure out in the last round. Unfortunately, just wasn't there today. My mind wasn't. I've been very busy for the last year. Now it's my 4th BJJ match. I did 4 MMA fights as well. All within this period of April to April. It's been like 2 years actually, really on the go. So I think I just gotta take like 2 weeks to kind of breathe and feel like doing it. Right now, I came in and I really wanted to bang, but my mind is just kind of, too calm.
Just 2 weeks to breathe?
Just 2 weeks, and I gotta go back to the mat. Yeah.
Well, you're stringing together a win streak for yourself here in the bowl. So what more do you think you need to do to get another shot at the belt?
I want to do a lot better than I did today, that's for sure. So hopefully I'm able to come back here as soon as possible. If anything happens and they do need me for the belt, I'm ready. I will even cut those 2 weeks, just let me know. I need another shot at that. That sounds exciting. That sounds like something that I would love to do and prepare for. Today wasn't as fun as I usually try to make, but either way, it's a good experience. Always good to be here. UFC BJJ is always awesome. And I hope this really works out and we can be here for a long time.
Renato, I think you get to enjoy those 2 weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 in a row for Renato Canuto.
Congratulations to the hybrid, Renato Canuto. What an incredible strength of schedule he's had, mixing it up between MMA and professional grappling as well. Sounds like he has earned himself a couple of weeks off, but he's very much eyeing an opportunity at the welterweight title as soon as he possibly can. Okay, so more exciting news for UFC BJJ 8. UFC BJJ lightweight title challenger Danilo Moreira will step back into the bowl to meet Simple Man Martial Arts Ethan Croninston when he makes his UFC BJJ debut. Catch UFC BJJ 8 Thursday, May 21st, live and free on the UFC BJJ YouTube channel. And now, with more breaking news from BJJ 8, we send it back over to Morgan.
John, thank you so much. I am joined by middleweight contender William Tackett. Breaking news for UFC BJJ 8. You're taking on Enriquez. Man, we get to see you return to the bowl. What can we expect in this matchup?
Well, this is my first match being here, living in Vegas, utilizing like the PI and all the amenities the UFC's offering. So expect me to be more prepared than ever. I'm ready to go.
We're excited to see you back in the bowl, but we know you're a busy man tonight. You're back in the locker room with your brother, champion Andrew Tackett. What's the vibe in the locker room right now? What can we expect from Andrew?
He's locked in. He's hitting drills with my other training partner, Cody Steele, right now. They're sweating it up. He's ready to go. I haven't seen him this locked in a while, so I think he's coming to bring a banger for us. It's going to be sick.
William, thank you so much for your time. And guys, you heard it here.
Yes, indeed, back in the bowl for UFC BJJ 8. So the stakes are about to get even higher here at the Meta Apex as we get ready for tonight's first UFC BJJ title match. Already Leverne closed out her 2025 campaign by winning the UFC BJJ Women's Featherweight title with a first-round submission win over Raquel Canuto. Tonight, the talented title holder puts her belt on the line for the first time against dangerous challenger Rebecca Lima.
What makes me different from other fighters, it's I don't speak a lot and I put pressure on. I'm always looking for submission on a guillotine or triangle or choke. I began Jiu-Jitsu in 2016 in French Guyana.
Leverne starting to cook here.
In 23, I was third at World Championship and European champion in 2024. Last year, my best achievement was vice champion in European and Brazilian National. Today, I live my dream fighting, but I know that I'm also building something for later. My last fight was against Raquel Canuto, and I won this match by submission at the first round, but more than that, it was a fight for the first belt of the history of UFC BJJ.
And the belt is going to France.
My mom have a dementia, and when I bring the belt to her, and she just smiles at me like, hey, she have a small moment of presence. Yeah, it was an emotional moment. My opponent tonight is Rebecca Lima. I think she improved a lot. She's a black belt also. For Rebecca Lima, I think I'm a difficult opponent because I'm the champion. I think I bring experience.
And just like that, Leverne catches her in a key lock.
I'm gonna use my GPS for finalization to submit Rebecca Lima tonight.
When I compete, I'm a type of person that I look calm. I'm confident. It is me versus me. I don't like to focus on my opponent. I like to go for it. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna submit my opponent. I'm Rebecca Lima. I'm a Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I'm from Brazil. I live in Rio de Janeiro and I train in Midland, Texas. I'm a 6-time world champion. I'm 5 times Brazilian national champion, Pan Am's champion, I'm a European champion, and of course, UFC BJJ 6 champion. The belt's gonna be mine tonight because I've been working my whole life for this moment.
Are you ready? Let's fight.
My style is a lot of pressure. I like to play guard, and I'm very good on top too.
This is a really good spot for her.
I like to play a lot of leg entanglements, just go and push the pace of the match. I had to do a lot of big sacrifices in my life to get what I want to be. The biggest sacrifice that I need to do was moving away from my family. I missed them a lot, so I'm gonna put that energy to get this bout, and I'm gonna make it happen. I can change my family's life with this bout.
So this is a big moment for Rebecca Lima.
I'm facing already Leverne for the title. I fought her already twice. I've won the last time.
Oh, she got the tap.
I don't feel that way like, oh, okay, I've won, so it's gonna be easy. No, I don't think it's gonna be easy because I know she's coming to protect her title. I expect she's coming hot in the beginning, but I'm gonna counter this and I'm gonna find a submission.
The keys for my victory gonna be wrestling her down and passing her guard.
I know my game gonna be better than hers. I'm gonna beat her up.
Tonight is my night because I work really hard to keep my belt on.
When is this bout tonight? I just wanna tell everybody else from the division to pay attention. I'm coming for you.
So second UFC BJJ appearance for Rebecca Lima, and it is the third time that she will face Aurélie Leverne. She's changed everything in her life. She's looking to change her family's life as well. She took where she lives from Rio all the way over to Midland, Texas, and she is on the mat every single day with the champ, Caillio Mora. She said it is exactly like how we see Caillio in the bowl. This time on the mats in Midland, Rebecca Lima coming for that gold, Dean Thomas.
Yeah, and for Lima, She draws a lot of inspiration from training with Cassia, her being in Cassia's corner. She knew that it was destiny for her to be in this exact same moment that her teammate was in, but she said, Aureli's very aggressive and she's a very physical athlete, but everything has changed. She's a different person than what she was in 2021, and she knows she can't let her come with her hand fighting, and her goal is to avoid the situation where she will take her down and get her in half guard. So she knows she needs to pull guard, attack the legs, but she's got a better understanding of the gaps in Aureli's game right now than she did 5 years ago. So this is a different Rebecca Lima than what Aureli faced in their last match.
Yeah, there had to be some confidence that she has going in, knowing that Cassia Moro is with her, and the brilliant stuff that they've been doing over there in Midland with Bruno Bastos. I mean, right now they are really hot, and she's got to have that confidence going into this match.
Rebecca Lima, ready to challenge for gold. And it is the third appearance in the UFC Bowl for the first ever women's UFC BJJ champ, Aurélie Leverne from France. She is defending her title tonight, Michael. She was your performer at UFC BJJ 4. She left France with a bag of clothes. She's now living one of her dreams. She is the champion, and she does not want to let that one go.
Well, she is such a joy to speak with because she's so candid about her life. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and she competes for a bigger purpose, her family. That gives her extra motivation to go out here and perform to her best. And she just has such a beautiful spirit. But one thing about her is her grappling style is violent. Her submission against Raquel Canuto was so wicked that I can't even watch the replay. She came into this building and took on the queen of Las Vegas and put her in one of the most wicked submissions that I've seen in a long time. Aurélie Leverne is a special athlete fighting for a bigger purpose. And if she can get her game going, she wants to be strong, she wants to be physical. If she can get that game going, she walks out here with that belt. But she's got to put it on Lima and let her know that this is her stage, this is her bowl, and this is where she lives and belongs.
And Aurélie does such a good job using her length and her frame to her advantage. We've seen it in her last two matches, the way she's able to stretch her body out and control the frames of her opponents while attacking submissions is something that's so hard to prepare for, Dean.
All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape for the women's featherweight title. And it is France versus Brazil. The French woman is 11 years more senior. Leverne is also 5 inches taller than Lima. Leverne represents 6 blades. Lima represents Bastos. To get us into our first title match tonight, here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds, all for the UFC BJJ Women's Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 145 pounds, out of Midland, Texas, USA. She is the challenger, Rebecca Lima. And now introducing her opponent in the red corner, weighing in at 144 pounds, out of French Guiana, France. She is the undisputed UFC BJJ Women's Featherweight Champion of the World, Aurélie Leverne. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Ribeiro.
So here we go, folks. This one for the gold.
You ready?
We see the challenger Lima in the blue. In the red is the champ. And the champ Leverne said that she wanted to be dominant tonight. Lima said she does not want to give the opportunity to be smashed from the top, and this is exactly what she was trying to avoid.
Well, Aurélie got right on the front foot right away and just touched the hands and just got right in her face. So looking to just impose her pressure right away. And you can see that that was a big part of her game plan.
The interesting thing about both of these women is that when you ask them the question who was better, they said, oh, my jiu-jitsu's better. They both said my jiu-jitsu. They said, she's good, but my jiu-jitsu's better. So it'll be interesting to see how this does play out.
They met before at Purple Belt a long time ago. Leverne got the nod. They have seen one another a couple of times.
But you can't even take that into account because in 5 or 6 years, you become such a different athlete, such a different competitor. Your game evolves, your tendencies change. And I don't think either of these women are factoring into this match the results of what happened over half a decade ago. But this is where Lima's very dangerous. She's got a very, very good close guard. And look at the way she's able to underhook that leg and get to the back.
Take straight under the neck.
But she's got a bite on this, guys. Aureli's got to stay on the hand control right now. She cannot address the feet with her hands, much like we saw Patrick Gaudio do in his match with Declan Moody. You got to keep your hands in a defensive position to address the choking hand and the top hand. You cannot address the feet with your hands.
Yeah, you got to keep the main thing. And right now, that's that choking arm. She's going to try. She's going to do it. She did a good job of getting that angle, surviving that threat.
Well, a good attempt at a submission there from Rebecca Lima. That back take was nice.
Well, now looks like she's trying to maybe attack a mirror lock. But Aureli's got that right arm buried. You need that arm to be a little more shallow if you want to attack that mirror lock. And right away, Lima goes back to underhooking that leg.
Yeah.
When you're addressing a closed guard, you have to be very patient. You have to, if you're going to stand up to try to break that closed guard, you have to do it in a timely fashion. You can't rush to your feet. Otherwise, that's exactly what's going to happen. Rebecca Lima is going to underhook your leg, and she's going to sweep you, and she's going to attack your back.
She's looking to get, there's an arm in position here. But Leverne with the hand on the hip. Easily out of that. Wrist control for Lima, who's holding Leverne in her guard.
Action red.
Yeah, I think for Leverne, like every time she stands up, Lima underhooks that leg. So she's got to start passing this guard from a seated position with her knees on the floor. She's got to be able to create some posture and break the guard from her knees.
And she has to be careful with her urgency because referee Shaolin Ribeiro is calling for action, so she can't get urgent because the referee's calling for action for her to rush and try to break that closed guard, because if she rushes and gets anxious, she's going to find herself back in a bad situation, much like she was at the beginning of this first round when Lima took her back.
So Leverne trying to stretch out the legs of Lima to break that closed guard.
And she's doing the right things, like she's pushing off on the hips and the ribs and trying to scoot back. But every time she does, Lima just removes the hands and then is able to close that space again. So Lima, like, it's a real chess match what's going on the inside here with this guard play from Lima and Leverne.
Which, if I was Aurelie Leverne, what I would try to do is I'm going to try to get a knee up the middle. I would try to, instead of trying to stand up to break the feet, I would maybe step up one leg at a time and try to get a knee in the middle and try to work into a knee cut position.
I think that's what she did as she rolls through, but that was nicely followed by Lima. You're shaking your head there, Chiesa.
That was incredible.
Risky.
Very risky, but I mean, you got to take chances sometimes if you want to sway things in your favor, but Lima just so on top of her game, and now she's approaching this match using her close guard.
Last few seconds of round number one.
That happened so fast. That was incredible.
Bebe devagar.
Drink slowly. That was a 10-8.
Controlando a respiração.
Control your breathing.
ela não vai, presta atenção, ela não vai saber o que fazer.
She's not going to know what to do.
Ela não vai saber o que fazer, porque para ela te quedar, ela tem que chegar perto.
For her to take you down, she needs to get close to you.
Para ela chegar perto, ela vai
For her to
estar
get close to you, she's going to get into your guard.
É aula de jiu-jitsu.
This is BJJ class. That's it. It's a class.
Quer mais gole?
You want another tip? Nope, no sip.
Let's take a look at some of the action from that first round. You can see this was the first shot that Rebecca Lima took when Aurelie Leverne was trying to stand up to get out of her closed guard, and it almost looked like she kind of collapsed her knee. Her knee kind of fell at a weird angle, like her leg almost got reaped a little bit. And then this is Aurelie reversing that back control from Rebecca Lima. She did a good job scraping and getting the angle to turn her hips and end up on top. I would have liked to see that last exchange that closed out round 1, but we're on to round 2.
Featuring top regional MMA promotions such as Cage Warriors, Fury FC, Cage Fury FC, and more. MMA's top prospects around the globe compete every week on UFC Fight Pass. Sign up now and get access to over 200 live events in 2026. Arm dragged down to the canvas by Leverne.
Now, here's the real problem. So Leverne gets the takedown, but she struggled so much in the guard of Lima. She's still in the guard of Lima, even though she got the takedown. Now, maybe she might feel like she can get a better start by getting the takedown, but that's the issue. Is it, okay, you got the takedown, but now what? Are you better than me on the ground? And I think that's where the biggest problem for Leverne is that she struggled in the guard of Lima. And she's got to find an answer in order to get past these legs.
Well, and Lima said in the fighter meetings that she doesn't want to get taken down by Aurelie and end up in bottom half guard, and that's exactly where she's at right now. So, but it's also, like you said, kind of a risky situation for Leverne. If she gets the takedown and ends up back in closed guard, I don't think that she's going to win this round. I think it's going to be much of what we saw in the first.
Well, she likes this pressure passing style, but it's a really nice guard by Lima, who keeps pummeling her legs through. And she's off-balancing the champ here.
And now she's back into that closed full guard. Now she's got a straight ankle lock here.
Leverne trying to put weights on and abandoned by Lima. Once again, back to that closed guard, which is giving Leverne some problems.
So you would almost think that maybe strategically Leverne should have pulled guard maybe to give her guard a shot to see if she can create some offense from her own guard.
Once again, collecting the leg.
You see what Leverne's doing. She's reaching back, trying to start to wedge her hands in to get into a stack pass situation. For me personally, when I'm stuck in someone's closed guard and I can't break it, if I'm going to start reaching back, I'm reaching back to see what foot is on top, because I want to push on whatever leg is the bottom foot so I can try to push a knee to the mat. But Leverne is reaching behind with both of her hands. If I was her, I'd be reaching out to try to feel that left leg of Lima is the one that's on bottom, so I can go two hands to that left knee, try to force it to the mat and break the lock. And I had to demonstrate that with my hands. I know for the people that are listening
and
watching the broadcast, I was doing a demo
of Dean Thomas.
I was doing a demo up here. Niner, get over here. Let me get in your guard, bro. I got to show these guys how to break that full guard.
Overhook for the right side on Lima. Let's go of it. As Leverne just tries to stretch out her body, but Lima with clearly a very strong closed guard. She's got really good angles there as well, Dean.
Yeah, and that's been the biggest problem for Leverne, is that she's doing all the right things. She's trying to back out of it to try to break the feet of Lima, but every time she moves, Lima pulls her arms back in, creates an angle, and then presents another challenge for Leverne to have to deal with.
And now this is a little win for Leverne right here. She broke the full guard. She was working a weave pass for a brief moment. Now she's working into this knee cut. And for Lima, the reason why she doesn't want to end up in bottom half guard is we've seen what Leverne can do on top, and we saw that in the Maggie Lira fight. The way she was able to stretch her body out in that half guard and attack that Americana. She's able to manipulate your body with her size and attack submissions in a very unorthodox fashion.
Yeah, now this is good for Leverne in terms of like just diving down into a knee cut.
But she almost got some chest to back control to get to the back, but she's got to stay persistent with this stack pass to avoid the full guard of Rebecca Lima.
Nice roll by Lima to get back to the open guard. Just over 30 seconds left as Leverne pins the bottom leg.
You see Leverne stapling the right leg of Rebecca Lima down with her left leg, but Lima wise to it, swims her leg out.
Last few seconds in round number 2.
Yeah, this was a better round for Leverne, even though I'm not sure she won the round. This was a better round for her. And it should give her some confidence moving forward.
Make her struggle more for the takedown. So put her into your guard. You don't have to fight so much for it. Like, does it make sense to you? Perfect your guard game. Perfect. Make her struggle to it. Just try to make her get into your guard against her.
Let me see if I can't remix some of this action from that second round. We see Leverne do this arm drag. Beautiful arm drag. Gets Lima down. Does a good job of staying out of the closed guard from Lima off of that arm drag. Creates some space, and now we see Lima just crawling on top with this underhook on Leverne as she tries to stack pass. Ties her up a bit, but Leverne just strong and pesky, avoiding any dangers from that situation.
So here we go, third and final round. What can the champ Leverne do here? As immediately Lima gets to work, the much happier corner. So once again, Leverne looking to cut through the guard of Rebecca Lima.
Yeah, you have to go in with a knee, because it's almost like leading with your sword. You got to lead with your sword when you're going with that knee pass, because if she ends up in the closed guard of Lima, that's where she's been having the most trouble with in this match.
Well, Lima just bleeds so much time off the clock from that closed guard.
Yeah. Oh, she's up on top now.
And this isn't a bad thing for Leverne, for how much she's struggled with that closed guard of Rebecca Lima. Let's see if she can try something new, change her game plan headed into this third round. She's got to mix it up right now, because she could very well be down 2-0 in her first title defense.
Well, I'm assuming she might be down. That first round might have been a 10-8, in my opinion. So if she's down 10-8, then perhaps 10-9 in the last one. I mean, she's got to go. She's got to unload the clip.
I mean, so much so in a sense with this position that she's in now, she almost needs to put herself in harm's way, like bait a triangle to Lima to see if she takes the bait, just to get her to open up the legs so she can do something to get out of this closed guard, because, like I said, it's just bleeding so much time off the clock.
She's looking for like a buggy entry there. Lima's got a really nice inventory of skills from her guard. That 2-on-1 grip, very strong. Leverne looking to move around the guard of Lima once again to cut through. Good attachment though from Lima in her guard.
Very good attachment. Doing a good job transitioning between her grips.
Look out for Lima attempting some leg entries here.
And Leverne pressuring into her, and now it was Lima that almost gets to a back attack, and here's Leverne on an attack on the leg of her own. She might have a bite on this knee bar.
Opportunistic grappling from Leverne.
Now she's got to go to work. This is her best shot at finishing this match right now. She's got 2 minutes.
And she's in pretty deep as well. She's got good...
Oh, she might have this, guys.
Got some good turn on that.
She's got a good bite on this. She's got to be careful of Lima's leg lock game of because we saw the Estima lock that she was able to get in her last match.
Yeah.
So Leverne's got to be mindful, but she's still got to sell out and try to get that submission.
You know me, I'm not really into the shootouts like this, but for Leverne, she's got to be in this because I think that's her best chance. With a minute and a half, her being down 2 rounds, I think she's got a shot if she can pull this off.
It's hard to see what Lima's working with there, but it's enough to see Leverne climbing to maybe address the grips. Locked up in a, looks like a 50-50 position.
Yeah, she's got it outside 50-50 right now. And that's what's impressed me about Rebecca Lima in this match is it's not just the attacks, but it's the time management. She's done a good job managing the clock in her favor in positions like this, attacking in the 50-50.
Lima's got a bit more real estate on that leg to work with.
She's got Leverne on the ropes right now. Leverne trying to stuff the legs. Free her knee from the knee line right now.
20 seconds left. Are we looking at a changing hands of the belt here?
She's got this Aoki lock unless something happens within the next 5 seconds. I think we got a new champ.
I'm still grimacing at it.
Yeah, and they let it go. It goes to the judges' scorecards. Has Rebecca Lima done enough to take the title from Aurélie Leverne? This replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring Jiu-Jitsu, your dedication and your journey.
I mean, this was just a surgical performance from Rebecca Lima, and it all revolved around that closed guard. She did such a good job right here when Leverne would stand to posture up. Look at the way she's able to underhook the leg. It almost looked like Leverne's knee popped, and this is where she got a really good shot in attacking that rear naked choke finish, and this was in the first round. She got her hand to the bicep. She got good control, and right when Leverne went to take a chance and jump over the top to attack a submission, Rebecca Lima got to the back again. And then Leverne was wise to it as the match progressed, started to get to takedowns to get into a top half guard. But Lima did such a good job with her connections, getting back to that full guard, getting back to her attacks. And when we got to round 3, it turned into a shootout as both of these ladies were attacking the legs, both of them getting deep shots on the leg entanglements, and this was probably Leverne's best shot of offense throughout the course of this match was that knee bar attempt. And as it closed out, it looked very dominant for Lima through the course of this match.
Is it and new or and still? Here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have your winner by unanimous decision and new UFC BJJ Women's Featherweight Champion of the World, Rebecca Lima.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your new champion, Rebecca Lima. Congratulations, man. What you guys got going on in Midland is something special. You moved there, left Rio, left your family. How proud are you of this moment right now?
That is the water of Midland. I'm kidding, but I just want to say thank you first to God, you know. He allowed me to be here healthy, you know. For who don't know, like last year was like very crazy in my life. I had a knee surgery on my left knee, so to have a match like that and don't feel afraid of, like, you know, just try, go for it. It is just because of God, you know, to help me to be healthy. But I'm very proud. this is not just for myself. Like I said, in every interview I do, I talk about my family. This is not just for me, it is for God, for my family, and for everything we being through, you know, passing a lot of hard situations, but now I'm a reality, I'm the best, and I'm very happy for that. Jesus make that happen, you know. I'm not able to do anything without God.
The story of this matchup was your closed guard and just how dominant it was. Was that the chess match you were expecting tonight?
Yeah, I fought Aurélie twice on the purple belt, and I knew there was a gap in her game when she come like very hard in the beginning to try to snap me down or take me down. Sometimes she got a single leg, arm drag. I knew that could happen, but what I had in my mind is keep calm, don't rush, and just be more technical, you know, more technical than her.
Well, you've had a busy 2026 so far. You've competed earlier this year. You helped your teammate, Caillio. You compete again tonight. When would you like to be back in the bowl, and do you have a name in mind?
Yeah, I want to keep it busy, you know. When I started Jiu-Jitsu, my biggest inspiration was Ronda Rousey. So I love to be here, maybe one day be in MMA, but for now I just want to keep doing that, you know. I know she's here, she just had a baby, but I just want to say I'm a big fan of Andressa Sintra. I don't know when she's going to be back. I have a huge respect for her, but it's my dream to fight her, you know. It's not nothing about like ego or something, but I really like her, the way she fights, she go for it. So if she come back soon, I want to fight her.
I think that's a great name. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your new champion, Rebecca Lima.
So there's the new champ, Rebecca Lima. 2 champions under the roof of Bashdosh Jiu-Jitsu in Midland, Texas. There she is with her coach. She grew up in a favela in Rio, left home to come to the USA to make a new life for herself, and she just became a champion. Congratulations to Rebecca Lima. Great job here at the Meta Apex. And there's Maximus Lally. What a week it's been for him. The undefeated Irish fighter won an all-expenses trip to the UFC PI here in Vegas. Gets a hot seat to the show tonight as well. Looking forward to seeing what holds the future for him. He's in the house as well. He stands up for us. There is Sean Strickland vying for that title at UFC 328. Actually stopped by Extreme Couture this week. Saw him sparring. It was pay-per-view rounds. All the best to him as he closes out his camp. So many grappling fans have highlighted this next match, so do not miss. These two have history. They meet again with gold at stake. Inaugural UFC BJJ lightweight champ Carlos Enriquez returned to the Meta Apex, seeking his second consecutive successful title defense this evening as he welcomes the challenge of Golden Boy Lucas Valente.
My grappling style is, I'm a submission grappler. And my favorite grappling technique is whatever makes my opponent tap out. Every time I step on the mat, I'm laser focused, I'm disciplined, I'm ready to go for the kill. You know, I'm like a sniper. I'm very grateful to sign with UFC BJJ because for me it's a dream come true. Having my chance to go in the organization and on my specialty go there and conquer my belt is amazing. On this match, I'm fighting against Carlos Enriquez. We competed several times before. All of them I won. My history with my opponent for me is just data. You know, I prepare for every match like the most important match of my career. Carlos has seen me before, but he hasn't seen this version of me yet, and I'm the best that I've ever been. The way I evolved since the last time that I saw him is literally astronomical. You know, I literally became a different athlete. And, you know, I'm sure Carlos is training, but no surprises. I made sure in my preparation that I walk out of the Meta Apex with the belt on my shoulder, and we even packed a bigger suitcase to bring it home to me. And new, that'll be priceless. I'm very confident in myself. Right now I'm training more than ever, so I'm excited to bring an even better version of me. On this match, Carlos is gonna find out that I'm way more complete than he ever imagined. I'm expecting a high-paced match. I envision myself implementing my game and submitting him early.
So far, my career in UFC BJJ has been so blessed. I'm the first champion, the first guys hold the title, and I just put my name on the history, you know. I'm gonna hold this title for a very long time. Kill or die, that's my mindset on the ball. The more I defend the title, the stronger I become. In my second title defense, I'm facing Lucas Valente. He's had some winning over me, a couple matches. We fought like in the gi and twice in no gi. In the BJJF rules, I'm not the same guy 2 years ago, no. Since I became the champion, my style completely changed. He has not met this Enriquez before. I think it's Lucas Valente, born. He's really boring, like the way he's fight, he's basically don't fight. He's just like he try play the rules, try survive, try like win by one event. I'm better than Lucas everywhere. My cardio is better, my takedown is better, my pass, my guard. I have a job, he go there, defend my title, and beat him and show him that he's don't deserve this organization, no? Lucas is gonna see tonight a brand new Carlos Enriquez, the king of the ball. I'm not going to let the belt go. A victory tonight is just the beginning of a very long legacy. It's gonna be a rough night for Lucas.
To say Jiu-Jitsu is a family affair for Brazil's Lucas Valente would be an understatement. Starting at the age of just 3 years old, he grew up watching his uncle, a 5th-degree black belt, Daniel Valente, and his godfather, Vinicius Draculina, a 7th-degree coral belt, compete and train. And in those moments, they weren't just relatives, they were superheroes. And the path he wanted to follow was made instantly clear. Familial ties only run deeper when the 30-year-old met his partner and 7-time Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Andressa Sintra, in 2016. Together, the pair are raising their 8-month-old son, Kyron, on the mats. Although Valente jokingly said he hopes his son becomes a world champion golfer, not grappler. But John, all jokes aside, as he makes his UFC BJJ debut challenging for a belt, Valente's not only aiming to be the best in the world, he hopes to carry his family's legacy even further.
Thank you very much, Morgan. Yeah, I'm really hyped for this one, Dean. These two have been going at it on the socials. Valente has 3 wins over Enriquez, and he wants to take another one on the biggest platform here, come away with the title tonight.
Yeah, talk about them 3 wins. That's helping him step inside this bowl with supreme confidence. And when I asked him about it, I said, how does that make you feel? He says, I don't look too much into it. But he said, and I quote, he knows. Speaking of Carlos, he says, Carlos knows that I beat him 3 times. This man has a flexible guard that he says he gets from his mama. He's super aggressive off of his back. He's got wicked leg lock submissions. This guy is an absolute savage on the floor. 2-time world champion. When he goes out there, he knows what he's here to do. He knows the assignment. He's not leaving until he gets the belt.
So here walks the UFC BJJ lightweight champ, making his 3rd appearance in the bowl, but his first defense. It's been a busy few months for the new girl dad who earned another win in MMA at Fury FC last month. Now, tonight's peak performance is brought to you by Puffco. It's not smoke, it's science. The best concentrate experience has arrived with Puffco technology, now at puffco.com. Michael Chiesa, what are your keys for the champ?
Well, first and foremost, he needs to stay out of Valente's close guard. I went back and watched those matches, and he definitely struggled with the close guard, much like Leverne did against Lima. He got impatient. He tried to stand up to break the close guard, and Valente would underhook the leg. He would sweep him. He would get to his back. So he has to stay out of the close guard. And number 2, he needs to be the veteran. This is unfamiliar territory for Valente. This is his first time stepping foot in the bowl. And Enriquez has been in this bowl more than anybody. He was on the reality show, Road to the Title. He's fought for the belt. He's defended the belt. So he has a very good understanding of the rule set. And most importantly, he has an understanding of the landscape. In his last match against Mateus Gabriel, he was pushing Gabriel towards the slope of the bowl and using that to his advantage. You can try to prepare for the bowl in your debut, but there's nothing that can prepare you for what it brings into a match. And Carlos Enriquez he's very much familiar with that. So I think he needs to pair those 2 things together and also make it very physical. get your takedowns. If you take him down, land in a half guard, land in a side control, maybe hit a shot and get to the back, but whatever you do, don't shoot on a straight line and end up in the closed guard.
So here we go. The champ is in the building. This one's got a little extra spice to it as well. Let's take a look at the 10 of the tape for our lightweight title bout. It's an all-Brazil affair. The champ, Enriquez, is 4 years younger than the challenger, Valente. The champ is 5 inches taller. He represents Orande Bros Jiu-Jitsu, and Valente represents Gracie Barra. To get us underway, here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the co-main event. Set for 3 rounds, all for the UFC BJJ Lightweight Championship of the World. And presented by Hampton Adams, the #1 selling athletic tape in America. Learn why Hampton Adams is the tape that never taps at www.hamptonadams.com. And now, introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 155 pounds, out of Houston, Texas, USA, he is the challenger, Lucas Valente. And now, introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in officially at 155 pounds, out of Lumberton, Texas, USA, he is the undisputed UFC BJJ Lightweight Champion of the World, Carlos CH7 Enriquez. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
This one for the UFC BJJ lightweight title. The champ is wearing the red. The challenger, Valente, in the blue. Valente is 3-0 in this, what is now a quadrilogy. But Enriquez has called Valente boring. He said, you can't do that here in a UFC BJJ bowl. He's faced 3 world champions from IBJJF in this environment, and he said they're all having trouble. He wants to be the king of the bowl again tonight.
Valente applying a lot of pressure right away, pressing Enriquez back to the slope of the bowl.
Yeah, that was interesting to see. He pretty much ran across to kind of trap Enriquez up against the bowl wall.
I've enjoyed interacting with both of these athletes this week. There's a lot on the line for them, like professionally and personally. I liked how Valente told us, Dean, that the goal is for him to be like Triple C. Henry Cejudo, he's a Jiu-Jitsu world champion already. He wants to become the UFC BJJ champ and eventually the UFC champ.
Well, yeah, he's 4-0 as an MMA fighter, so he won't be out hustled in these type of environments.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like they're both going to be able to match that same type of intensity that MMA fighters bring into grappling. And if all goes according to what I have planned, it doesn't matter who wins and loses tonight. I would love to see them fight in the UFC someday.
Might as well, right? Let's do this.
Because this is a very heated rivalry. This is a very competitive rivalry.
Great job by Valente, initiating the action here. He's looking for the back. Nicely denied, though, by Enriquez.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was incredible. I couldn't hear anything you guys said. Nope. The crowd really coming to life in this match.
Well, they know how much it means. And the different dynamic that the bowl presents. There are no resets here. It's all action.
And Enriquez being able to get height in that exchange prevented Valente from being able to secure that back control.
And you were talking about Enriquez understanding this environment a little bit more of the bowl.
Good, there you go. Keep the pressure on. Good.
Well, that was an assumption, but thus far, it seems like Valente knows what he's up against. In his debut, he's actually using the bowl to his advantage as well. Both of these guys taking advantage of what the bowl has to offer.
Well, I don't know if you just saw it, like, Valente just kind of stumbled a little bit.
Yeah.
As if maybe he lost his footing, but as he did that, he took a couple really deep breaths.
Well,
I think Carlos is, like, noticing that.
I was about to say, some of these athletes have said it really challenges the energy systems because it's not the usual patterns that one is used to when they're at ADCC or IBJJF. You have to keep going. And that gradient, it might not look like it too much on your screen, but you've got to be careful on that gradient. It is steep.
And let's also factor in, he's standing on the UFC logo right now. This is a UFC debut, and that is such a real thing. The UFC debut, the octagon jitters, that's the exact same thing that happens to these athletes here. A lot of them say the first time they step into this building, the Meta Apex, on that canvas that says UFC, there is a lot of shock value that comes with it.
No one really does good in their UFC debut. Except for maybe Anderson Silva.
Yeah, that's true.
Good angles from both of these athletes through the first 4 minutes.
And if I'm Enriquez, I want to push the pace. If you can start to sense fatigue in Valente, you got to start pressing the pace. You want to press the issue. If you can start to gain momentum from a cardio standpoint, take advantage. Start to push the pace.
And that was exactly what Enriquez said. He said, I know he's going to get tired. He gets tired, which is why he says he stalls, because if he has to move a lot, he's going to get tired. And you can see that's part of Enriquez's strategy here, is to push him, push him, push him. And now he's going to tax his guard here. He's going to make him work in his guard. Tax his core, tax his legs.
Trying to stack Valente, but he did a really good job with the wrist control. Interesting one to score, gents. Reverse guard here from Valente, who's hunting for the leg.
Preciso que você ataque mais, tá?
I need you to attack more. You need to control more position.
Respira.
Breathe. It's just adrenaline right now.
Respira, se acalma.
Breathe. I want you to calm down. Don't let him get you. You're better on the takedowns.
Yeah, these boys had some moments in this first round. We see Valente push Enriquez up the wall. And look at him. This exchange here almost gets around to the back. We see this crab ride from Valente. Tries to sneak around to the back. But Carlos says, nah, I'm the champ here. I'm not letting you get behind me like this. He's able to turn into him. Reset. Break on the exchange here. Good work from both guys in that.
UFC Freedom 250 is set to be unforgettable. Gear up for a historic night of fights with the first drop of the UFC Freedom 250 collection, now available at ufcstore.com.
And one of the things that works against Enriquez in this rivalry specifically is their builds. Valente being more compact and Enriquez having those long legs, there's so much more real estate for Valente to work with in terms of underhooking that leg from full guard, getting to those leg attacks, getting to those foot locks, those leg locks. Enriquez's long legs are just so favorable for Valente's build and his style of grappling.
Flexible guard from Lucas Valente.
Yeah, I think he should have did this earlier in the first round, because this is where he's most comfortable. I almost think he should have pulled that closed guard, like you said. And Enriquez needs to stay out of the closed guard. So I think Valente needs to get into the closed guard, settle Enriquez down a little bit, and then start to work his offensive attacks.
Well, and Carlos has explosive passing when he engages from the outside. He'll jump into those knee cut passes. He'll cartwheel pass. He's got really good hip switches. So he really limits himself if he plays to Valente's strengths and fights him in his close guard. So if he can get another takedown and get Valente to concede from coming back to his feet, he should start working that outside passing.
And I tell you what, Carlos is doing a really good job of just pummeling that head for Valente. And that, again, that's why we see Valente pulling guard here, because he couldn't take much more of that.
Yeah, jumping guard pull by Valente. As Enriquez looking to pass the guard. Trying to stack pass.
And make no mistake about it, this is a dangerous match for Carlos. I mean, this guy beat you 3 times. Like, you've never won a match against this guy.
That's probably why they brought him in.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's test the champion. I'm sure Valente had a lot to say himself, maybe headed into the matchmaking process. Maybe he clamored for this matchup, or maybe Tecci and Claudia knew what they were doing, but either way, this match needed to be had, and it needed to happen here at UFC BJJ in the bowl.
Yes, Carlos.
Another dynamic guard pull by Valente.
And I like what Enriquez is doing by staying low. He's got his head in the chest, and he's staying low and keeping his hips back so that Valente can't underhook and roll underneath to get to the legs. Bob Cook's really simplified shutting down leg lockers when I was on the Ultimate Fighter coaching with him. He said, all you got to do is get your chest as low to the mat as you can when you're on top, and then there's no space for them to underhook and get underneath. And that's exactly what Enriquez was doing.
140, Carlos, 140.
Well, we see Valente trying to work this little squeeze lock here.
A minute and a half left, Carlos.
Hey, you can start to open the back open. Yeah, peel that leg back open. Keep scoring. Keep scoring, Lucas.
Good. Peel that leg. Nice. There's nothing here yet.
Now Carlos looking to engage in the shootout and get a bite on the left leg of Valente, and he's trying to arch with it. He's got this straight ankle lock. And what Valente's doing is almost like a compression lock, because he's getting a wedge behind the knee of Enriquez and almost just trying to separate the knee ligament.
Enriquez had to bail quick there.
And those are the kind of reactions that you need to draw out of your opponent to score points with the judges.
Now let's finish on top. 45 seconds. Good.
But this is where Valente excels. Even though he's tired, he finds ways to score points. And he finds ways to do what he needs to do in the eyes of the judges. And that's this right here. Just keep attacking these submissions and see if you can't get close to get reactions out of Enriquez.
And Enriquez was trying to control the posture, trying to pull Valente's chest towards him, because he knows his leg is in danger right now.
Yeah, looking for a little exposure on that.
And Valente's, he's selling out and going for it in the closing moments of round 2.
Take a breath. Good job.
Expend a lot of energy on that, okay?
Yeah.
Let's keep it on him. Let's keep it on him.
Let's take him back to the other side when he's on the ground.
Get him on his left side.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be there. He keeps re-squaring up.
Yeah.
Get to the other side.
Yeah, push him this way. Pedal. Good. Carlos, not careless, but a lot of pressure.
Puxa.
Good pull.
Puxa pra fechada, igual tu fez comigo.
Pull
Mesma
him close
coisa
guard,
que tu
just like you do to me in training. Okay, same thing. Just pull him in. Let's go. Let's get him. That's just it. He's got. Listen, don't. He's got the head is too low right now. You're lowering the head too much. Don't leave it out there.
comigo, as duas mãos na nuca, tu pula lá em cima fechada. Se tu botar na fechada, tu vai pegar.
What you did to me. Put your hands behind the head of the back of his head and get him. Just pull him. Jump on him. Jump him. Listen, everybody's watching you.
Oh, back to action. Third and final round, and I've got to say, looks like Valente is breathing a little bit heavier than Enriquez at this point.
Yes, stay committed to it. Be disciplined. Good man.
Well, I mean, that's very true. Like, when you talk about who would you prefer to be in terms of physical conditioning right now, Enriquez. But that's not part of the judging criteria. So
Keep going.
for Valente, he can still keep spamming these submission attempts and win this match.
You got Valente ahead at this point?
I'm not sure. As we were calling it, I'm not sure. It's close. I'll be interested to see how the judges are scoring this right now.
Don't ask me, I'm a commentator. I know the criteria as good as anybody, but this is a very close match.
It's too close for me to make a strong suggestion of who I think is winning right now.
Well, they got just under 4 minutes to work to do something definitive.
And you see Enriquez trying to staple down the left leg of Valente as he's working this pass. And Enriquez's corner was imploring him to get Valente on his left side, if I'm not mistaken, because Valente keeps squaring up and going to one of his stronger side. So they want him to shut it down.
Yes, champ.
Easier said than done going against a guy that's won multiple world titles.
Yeah, Enriquez trying to pass the other side, but Valente very good at pummeling his legs.
And Valente stands up. That's very interesting. He's had so much success from his back. I'm very surprised to see him wrestle his way up.
How did he manage to throw up a flying triangle and land? It's like, who could do that is ridiculous.
And I love this exchange that we're seeing right now on the slope of the bowl. This makes things very, very interesting. There's no resets. And he getting some height, maybe trying to attack that front headlock. Valente wrestling up back to his feet might come back to bite him in the butt on this one, because this is where Enriquez has a good shot at getting a takedown, applying pressure, or starting to check the boxes and criteria. Anybody have this, guys? That's a deep shot. That's a deep shot. Carlos Enriquez is an armbar specialist. That is one of his best submissions. And when you want to talk about scoring, this is the equivalent of a knockdown punch.
I mean, that might have sealed the deal for him.
Oh, that's good. It was great defense from Valente. And he unpicks the legs, drives forward. Goodness me! Lucas Valente manages to get a submission and take the title. Wow, that was back and forth.
That was incredible. To me, that last round has been my favorite round of the year thus far. I mean, to me, it was a tie match, and those guys just went toe-to-toe and slugged it out until someone got knocked out.
Yeah, they absolutely did. They stood in the pocket and traded with each other, and Lucas Valente showed that he had a little bit more firepower, a few more rounds in the clip, so to say.
100%, and just as I said, that flying armbar attempt was a knockdown shot, and Valente answered.
This replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring Jiu-Jitsu, your dedication and your journey.
And this is just when I thought Enriquez, like I said, he dropped him. Here comes the 10 count. The ref's coming in. He's getting this armbar, he's getting this triangle, and he is a specialist from these positions. But Valente, 7, 8, gets up before the 10 count, and then he gets a shot off of his own. Right in the pocket, look, as he frees his arm. Look, he's got a deep bite on the left leg of Enriquez. And Enriquez's got those long legs, but they are a gift and a curse, especially going against a guy like Valente. Locks in the straight ankle lock, gets a knockout shot, and takes the title from the champion. Not just any champion, a champion that I thought would sit atop of his division for a very long time. He comes in here, pulls off the upset. In my opinion, the round of the year so far here in UFC BJJ.
Well, it would appear that Lucas Valente is the kryptonite for Carlos Enriquez. He now goes 4-0 in their series. He is all smiles. Let's give him his big moments. Here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in round number 3, declaring the winner by submission via footlock and new UFC BJJ lightweight champion of the world, Lucas Valente.
Congratulations, man. Oh, yeah. Please see the family. Grab the baby. Kyron. Well, we don't want him sliding down, though. There we go. Man, you said coming into this, it wasn't just for you. It was for your people, for your family. What does this moment mean to win the UFC BJJ belt, especially with your son here?
Before anything, all glory to God. I had so many obstacles coming into this. I wasn't sure how I was gonna do it, how I was gonna make it. I just knew that through God's promise I would. So here I am, UFC BJJ. You have a new lightweight world champion.
We certainly do. This was your 4th matchup with Carlos Enriquez. What did you learn in those previous matches that you thought would give you the edge tonight?
I just know I have his number.
Simple as that. What sense of urgency did you have coming into that 3rd round, knowing that the scorecards could have gone anyway if you didn't find a submission?
I called my master Drac before the match. He was like, I don't know if he's gonna be on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, but we're gonna submit him. So I just believe him.
You certainly did that, and you get it done in the 3rd round. This was your debut in the bowl here tonight. What did you think, and when can we see you back here?
I love it. I'd love to have, I fight MMA. I'd love to have one of the best grapplers at 155 in the UFC to fight. So anyone, any black belt in the UFC, I'd love to do a grappling match with you.
Well, there you go. Maybe we'll see a UFC fighter in here, but right now, give it up for your new lightweight champ, Lucas Valente.
Yes, indeed. The new champ, Lucas Valente, the Draculino product, gets it done, extends the series over Carlos Enriquez, but obviously the most important was the forum, the place he got it done, as he raises his young son into the air like something out of The Lion King. Great job by Lucas Valente. Talking of champs, Darth Rigatoni's in the building. We've got some breaking news to share. Mikey will be returning to the bowl next month and is defending his UFC BJJ bantamweight belt in the main event of UFC BJJ 8 against submission specialist Kevin Dantzler. Catch the entire event on Thursday, May 21st, live and free on the UFC BJJ YouTube channel. Broadcasting live from the Meta Apex, it's main event time for UFC BJJ 7. Here we go, folks, it's the clash for welterweight gold, old school versus new school here at the Meta Apex. Welterweight champion Andrew Tackett makes his 3rd consecutive main event appearance as he looks to add his 3-0 record under the UFC BJJ banner as he puts his title on the line against veteran standout Wagner Rocha.
Trying to line my next matchup was not easy. I had a lot of people say no. I mean, I understand everyone's circumstances, It's not easy going on to UFC BJJ and challenging Andrew Tackett, I get it. It's not an easy task. But when Wagner said, he was down, I was like, whoa. Wagner Rocha, I was like, I didn't even think I could ever have a match with him, and Wagner's sick, but I'm gonna have to beat him, man. I can't let the 43-year-old old dude beat me, man. That would be embarrassing, so. Sorry, Wagner. I like you a lot, but we gonna scrap, man. I'm gonna beat you. Let's go. That's the question everyone wants to know. What's better, experience or youth? And most of the time, you don't get to see one of the best in the world go against another one of the best in the world, and they're literally different generations. So April 2nd, tune in. What is gonna win, the legend or the young gun? Wagner is going to find out that I'm a lot stronger and a lot tougher than he expected. I'm down to scrap, I'm down to sub him quick. It just purely depends if you, Wagner, are willing to show up and scrap with me. Been laying a lot of people out in the 1st round, so I'm sorry guys, I know you want to see more, but I'm going for the kill. I think my potential of UFC BJJ is just only getting started. I think, the sky's the limit. You can't stop me. No matter how strong or how experienced you are, you can't stop me.
Yeah, so a lot of people said no to Andrew. From what I heard, there's a huge list of 20+ people that said no. The reason I live my life the way I have is because I've learned that saying yes is very important. When you say yes, you create opportunities, you create openings for yourself. And I believe Jiu-Jitsu is about that. You know, you have to be ready to be in a position of being uncomfortable and getting things done. And I'm there, I'm game. If I was 21 and I was fighting a guy that could be as old as my dad, I would feel that same way, you know, but I hope he doesn't think that a number is gonna be what's gonna slow me down, because it hasn't yet. I'm glad he's not taking it lightly, because he knows both Cody and his brother William are amazing athletes, and I do have wins over them. And I have wins over a lot of other amazing athletes in the world, so he knows that I bring intensity, I bring pace. I'm going to make this match extremely hard for him. It's not gonna be a great day, you know, if he's not at his ultimate best and doesn't get going first. If he falls behind the ball, he's gonna have a hard night. Andrew's gonna find out tonight that this is a tough old cookie. I think experience always wins. Once I'm able to start shutting him down, there'll be a clear sign and path to victory. It's always motivating to be fighting for a belt and to be fighting for the #1 position. It's everybody's dream, you know? So I'm there. Couldn't be any bigger moment. It'd be very sweet to beat Andrew and become the UFC BJJ champion.
So there he is, the challenger, Wagner Rocha, the UFC vet, at his last fight in the octagon back in 2017. Challenges for UFC BJJ gold tonight. Dean, John Danaher, the great John Danaher, described Rocha's style as combative, using psychological ploy and physical tricks. He makes it rough and he doesn't get frustrated. He's very different off the mat, but when a lot of men said no, he said yes tonight.
Well, he's a grown man, and it's hard to fluster a grown man who's been through what he's been through. And he is an inspiration, and I am proud to see him walk out here and do his thing. I was there in Miami when he took on Luke Griffin, a man who was like 30 pounds heavier than him, and he stunted on him. In front of the crowd, had the whole crowd in South Florida up in arms. This man has been through it all. I remember sparring with him when I was getting ready for Matt Serra back in the early 2000s. He was still a white belt in the gym, and this man has created a legacy and has created an empire in South Florida that has rippled. The effects of his empire has rippled throughout the world. His kids are involved. His whole system has radiated and permeated through jiu-jitsu. This man is an inspiration, and I am proud to watch him come out here and do his thing, and I think that he has the ability to shock Andrew Tackett tonight.
And I'll tell you this much. Rocha is a guy that doesn't care about hype. He doesn't care about social media. He doesn't care if you're the poster child. He's here to fight. I have trained with Wagner Rocha, and it was a grueling, hard training session. The guy's big bone. He's strong. And like I said, he doesn't care. He's going to make this as close to a fist fight as he possibly can. Tackett better be ready.
That is a deep breath by the champ, Andrew Tackett, who now calls Las Vegas home. Chiesa, when he was given the opponents a little list, he said to himself, which one makes me most nervous? The answer, Wagner Rocha. Why? He said, because he has a capability to shut down my game. I want to prove that no one can hold me down or slow me down. He is all about the challenges, 22 years young and looking to take the sport by storm.
And there's so many things that make Tackett so special. And for as young as he is, he doesn't have youthful ignorance. He understands the assignment of what he's up against in every match. He acknowledges, you know, somebody with youthful ignorance would look at Wagner Rocha's age and just think, I'm gonna blow through this old guy. No, he's smart. He's a student of the sport. He knows what he's up against. And he's so much a student of the sport that he makes sure that he dots his I's and crosses his T's with his training. He's been training at ATC under Eddie Griffin, who's an All-American D1 wrestler. And what I love in terms of preparation for this match is him training with Merab Dvalishvili. Yeah. A guy that can push a high pace, that's very strong, that's got an MMA background, much like Wagner does. I feel like that's a great training partner to complement him headed into this match. So for Andrew Tackett, he's doing all the right things, taking on the Grizzle vet and Wagner Rocha.
Yeah, one thing about Tackett, too, when you think about his previous matches here inside the bowl, he's been injured. He's been vocally injured. He said, I've been injured. He said, this is the first time that he's gone into the match without any injuries. He says he is extremely healthy and looking forward to putting it on Wagner Rocha.
Well, here we go. Main event time. Here's the tail of the tape for the welterweight title. The champ is American, the challenger is Brazilian. The big note is in the ages. Tackett, 22. Rocha, 21 years older at 43. The champ is taller by 2 inches. Tackett represents Syndicate MMA. Rocha represents his own academy, Wagner Rocha Martial Arts. With the main event introductions, here's Justin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived to the main event. Set for 3 rounds, all for the UFC BJJ Welterweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 170 pounds, out of Hollywood, Florida, USA. He is the challenger, Wagner Rocha! And now introducing his opponent in the red corner with an official weight of 170 pounds. Out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. He's the undisputed UFC BJJ Welterweight Champion of the World, Tackett! And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin Ribeiro.
Top of the card time here for the welterweight title. The champ is in the red, the challenger, Wagner Rocha in the blue. Rocha said that he needs to keep Tackett on a leash. He can't get going. He said he does make mistakes and he will capitalize. And already we see the funky style of Andrew Tackett.
Yeah, Tackett, what I love that he does is he will shoot knowing that his opponents are going to grab his neck. So he will shoot and essentially cartwheel through his transitions to get his takedowns. Very, very dynamic style of grappling.
And Tackett's relocated to Las Vegas. He wanted to mix it with the MMA guys you spoke about on the walkout, training with Marab, also with Strickland, with Aljamain Sterling as well. He's been linking up with Ricky Lundell for some wrestling. The ATC guys too. A lot of mutual respect here. Rocha's known Tackett since he was a very young man.
He's got Tackett's legs bundled up right here. I don't know if he's going to try to roll Tackett to his left, but he's trying to come up to this dogfight position. And you can see that because he's essentially reached behind Tackett and bundled his ankle. And Tackett's controlling that far wrist.
So Rocha was trying to build height.
Yeah, Rocha did a really good job of getting out of that position. Got to watch his neck here, though.
Yeah, he's clamped on tight. And he gets out, and here we're going to see some of the roughhousing from Wagner Rocha.
Oh, he will bring the psychological warfare to you. He will talk trash, he will get in your head, he will choke you, he'll smother you, poke you in your pressure points.
and everybody talks about the size of Wagner's hands. If you look at his hands now, it looks like he's got catcher's mitts on.
He does. So when I was talking about when I trained with Wagner, it was at Fight Island, and we had to roll in a hotel room. And can you imagine me fighting for my life within the confines of a little hotel room at the W? That was terrible.
Sorry, yeah, no, not great, but they are going footlock for footlock here.
And this is where Elijah Dorsey fell into trouble here.
But if you watch Rocha's old matches, he will put himself in danger. At times, he will compromise his leg with that mentality of like, I'm not going to tap, you can take it. Not the wisest thing to do against a technician like Andrew Tackett, but Wagner Rocha knows how to stay calm in those compromising positions when his legs are in danger.
Passing opportunity for Tackett. Good job by Rocha, but just relentless. Trying to get that passing angle. Here's the champ.
And that's the right thing to do for Tackett. I mean, you really want to try to make an older fighter fight out of his element. fight at a pace he just can't keep up with.
Yeah, there's no gi to slow the young buck
there's
down, is there?
No gi to slow him down. But the one thing that Rocha has to his advantage is he's got kids that are active competitors like his son. It has a style similar to Andrew Tackett.
Hey, I'm willing to take a chance on this. We talked about how Wagner Rocha is so strong, he can get somebody in mercy grips and almost compromise their wrist. Was Tackett wise to it by taping his 2 middle fingers together? If you notice, Tackett doesn't tape his fingers before his matches. Both hands are taped with his middle fingers. I'm gonna have to ask him afterwards.
Yeah, he wasn't giving up them mercy grips to them.
Oh no,
to them bear claws.
But it's true. I mean, Wagner. I'm not a fan of the mercy grip, but Wagner can make it work for him.
Well, these guys are boiling the ocean right away here inside the bowl. Rocha's tilting Tackett to his right side, trying to offset the base.
We could be trying to attack a calf slicer as Wagner Rocha.
Tackett pulls his leg in, he's searching for some heel exposure. He's got a little bite here.
He's got kind of a big bite there.
But Rocha's not really he's not really reacting in a way where he looks like he's in trouble. But we all know how that is. You ain't in trouble till you in trouble with a leg bite.
100%.
Changes the angle now. We've got 10 seconds. Tackett was on the Aoki lock, didn't get that.
Love the gamesmanship from the vet. Giving him the Matumbo finger wag. Yeah. No.
Did good. I like the attacks. He put you on bottom, he couldn't hold you down, he couldn't do nothing. We had great attacks, but we need to get good attacks. When he's on your legs, we can't just let him look at your legs and play. We can't Achilles it, right? His heel was... No, I know it's not hurting, but it's what it looks like. It's the optics, right?
Imagine it's an argument. You got to take back over the argument.
It was the mermaid guard, sweep, wrestle
Good
up, dog
first
guard.
round for both of our competitors. Look at Tackett as he pops the elbows, gets the double, and instead of running his feet, like I said, he'll cartwheel through his takedown finishes, through his transitions. And Wagner trying to get a lock around the waist here, and this is Wagner wrestling his way up through the dogfight position. I love the way he was able to reach across with his left hand and get that left ankle of Tackett to wrestle his way up and get a takedown of his own. But Tackett got a nice bite on the guillotine. To me, I would think that was the most meaningful takedown attempt that drew the biggest reaction out of Wagner Rocha in that round.
Let's see how the Tackett corner feel. Here's Morgan with William.
Hey, William, what are you seeing out of your brother right now?
Head-to-head control, he's moving forward a lot. You can see him shooting a ton from the standing position. Just really trying to push that pace against Wagner.
What do you want him to keep doing?
Keep pushing the pace just like he's doing. All these scrambles are going to be really good for Andrew. Wagner wants to control and keep Andrew kind of slowed down. So the more Andrew can keep him moving like this, the better.
Thanks, William.
Control versus scrambles as Tackett inverts into a knee bar.
He might have this.
Yeah,
That's a deep bite.
That's
That's nasty. And look at the way he's arching, and he's got the foot behind his back.
Look like a Rocha.
Oh, a foot lock here and counter for Rocha.
Dude, Wagner Rocha's a gangster. I mean, it's simply put, a lesser man would have tapped that knee bar.
Yeah.
A lesser man would have tapped the guillotines and the foot locks and the heel hooks. He's been battling his way through. That guy is so tough.
As a 40-something-year-old man, I can tell you that knees and ankles aren't quite as supple as they are in your 20s.
You already know how I feel about that. I took the elevator up one flight of stairs today.
Well, now that I'm retired, I'm going to do the same thing. No more stairs for me.
So submission attempts on both sides. Fast start to round 2. And there we go. Oh, there's a little... he said he bit him. Interesting. Now, that isn't allowed in the bowl.
Yeah, you got to react to it.
Oh, Rocha didn't like that.
You know, and as much as I talked about the attacks that Wagner endured, I still think it was only a 10-9 round for Andrew Tackett because the only submission attack that really drew any kind of reaction out of Wagner Rocha was the guillotine. And it wasn't even a big reaction at that.
I just saw, like, with the attempt at the mercy grips, and it just wasn't there. I think you're onto something.
I think I am. But that just goes back to how much, you know, for Tackett being as young as he is, there's no youthful ignorance. He's smart. He's a technician. So much so that I truly believe he taped his fingers to avoid the mercy grips of Wagner Rocha. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it was worth a shot.
Oh, nice job moving to north-south. Into turtle position goes Wagner Rocha, but he's got to be careful here.
That was really nice from Wagner Rocha. Right as Tackett passes to north-south, snatches the single, wrestles his way up, and he's cleared of any type of inverted triangle threat, but he ends up back on bottom.
Yeah, one thing about Rocha is he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He won't put himself out there to make a horrible mistake. Like, he always gets back to base, no matter what the situation is, what the sequence is. He's not going to extend himself too far to get himself out of position.
And he's much more of a top player, but he won't. He'll play to guard for a little bit, and then he'll time his burst to wrestle back up, much like we saw when Tackett was passing to north-south. It's almost like he spools himself up to where he can wrestle back up and get back into his wheelhouse, which is very much so his top control and his top game.
90 seconds, 90 seconds. Let's secure another guard pass.
Yeah, Rocha was talking to us about being more precise. He saw there's a lot of scrambling from Tackett, and in that there are some holes. And he's looking to capitalize tonight.
Free your leg, then go to the head.
Just a minute and change left in round number 2 as he looks to come on top.
And there's that physicality that we talked about with Wagner Rocha. Just a nice solid up kick to boot Andrew Tackett off of him and get back on top. No technique, just being rough.
Just waited his time, stayed in position, and as soon as he saw the opportunity, bing.
.40 seconds left. Let's see what Tackett's got off of his back.
Overhooks here. Control his posture in his hands. Overhook here. Overhook that arm and good force in the plata. Not the scramble. Yes, I like
Throws
that.
up.
I like that.
The trap guard doesn't stick.
Get his hands to the floor.
I was choking you with my hand, Andrew. I was choking you. With your thumb? Yeah, I was choking. That's enough, bro.
I love it. And Roach doesn't sound like he's spent much energy having a good conversation down there.
No, I mean, he's a gamer.
Oh, yeah.
This is what he does for a living.
He's more than a guy. He's dangerous.
It's 2 rounds to my rib. Yeah, it's 2 rounds to 1, okay? So win that round? Yeah. But we need to put a staple on this round. He doesn't hit any offensive movements, okay? Play a little bit defensive, but I want you to take it when you have it, okay? Try to get him to his back and create a lot of lateral movement early. Stay out of the close guard if you can, and stay off your back. Fight back to your feet.
A little bit of water.
Gets those leashes. That's what's making him take that bad shot.
Look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. He's tired.
All right, here we go. I'm hearing from the truck that as Tackett went back to his corner, he said he popped a rib.
Well, he had rib issues in the past. I believe it was his first title defense, Dean, that he went into that fight with a popped rib. And once you've done it once, it'll happen again in that same spot.
I've got to commend the corner work of Jasmine Rocha as well. She's been great between rounds for her dad. Nice passing opportunity here for Tackett.
Hey, no matter what happens, win, lose, or draw, for Wagner Rocha, I need more of him in my life. I love seeing him here, man. He puts on a show. It doesn't matter if you're the champ, a contender, a debuter. He's going to push you to your absolute limit if he doesn't beat you.
Yeah, he's really good for the sport of jiu-jitsu.
100%.
Nice elevator hook there from Rocha as he gets back to guard.
Very good. Use that 2-on-1 and that elevator hook to get to a re-guard. Much like we saw in that second round, expect Wagner not to spend too much time on his back. He's going to spool up, wait for the right opportunity, and explode back to his feet.
Oh, good work there. Nice head position from Tacket.
And that was a great opening for Rocha to wrestle up on that single. But rise to it. Look at the way he was able to roll. Way to time the escape. In a little bit of danger right now, but his arms are clear. He just needs to square his hips up to take away that angle that Tacket needs to get to his back.
Beautiful work by Andrew Tacket, and the crowd loving it here in the Meta Apex.
Now we submit it. We've got to get that finish. Let's go.
Put the right side of your back on the mat.
Surgical precision in these exchanges. It is not easy to climb onto the back like that, especially if someone as experienced as Wagner Rocha.
Yeah, Wagner did everything he could to try to prevent this from happening, but that just speaks to how good Andrew Tacket is. He was able to latch on to the body of Wagner Rocha and maintain that position, even though Wagner Rocha was trying to scrape him off.
Not to mention, Tacket saying that he popped a rib in the second round. Yeah. And his body was completely contorted as Rocha was trying to hit that escape. His body was completely twisted. That couldn't have felt good.
What if he feels pain? Because this is the same guy who had those injuries in those last matches and was like, I don't care. I'm still going to compete. And he ran through Elijah Dorsey with a popped rib.
Keep going, rotate. You're going to lose him on the ball. Use the ball.
Gotta go now, B. Let's go.
Well, taking a landing with another man's body weight on you is not going to help your ribcage much. But Tacket, stoic through the pain, and in a good position here in the third and final round.
I mean, there's no better position to bleed the clock, whether it's an MMA fight or a jiu-jitsu match. If you get that body triangle, yeah, there's no better way to establish dominance and bleed the clock, and that's exactly what Andrew Tackett's doing.
And it's hard to lose a fight when your opponent's facing in the opposite direction.
And there's Rocha timing his explosion, trying to burst to get back to his feet.
Tacket trying to take away the posts. Climbing back up.
Keep that chin down. Tuck that shoulder to your chin. We got a minute 20. Keep working. Build up. Right there, Andrew. That was it. You got to go from here. Minute 15.
Tacket worked hard to get
we got to work.
Rocha back down to the mat.
Control that hand. Control that hand. Back to mat.
A minute.
Keep moving. Fight that hand. Put that hand as an underhook.
Swim the choking arm through.
Hand fight, keep shifting.
Yes, we have the wall now. Start to use it.
50 seconds. Let's get that finish.
Rocha needs to do something here. He's collected the leg. He's lost the body lock.
And that move is called, I'm a grown man, dog.
Look at that day one sweep. Rocha's seen something. He's jumping on the leg. He's trying to get. Oh, we're on the edge of our seat here as Wagner Rocha tries to get a good bite, get deeper on the leg.
Get a good bite on it.
Now Tacket is looking for his attack of his own, and that is the end of the contest. A super entertaining run at that. Great work on both sides. It goes into the laps of the judges. Both the guys smiling, very much enjoyed by the watching audience here in Las Vegas.
This replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring Jiu-Jitsu, your dedication and your journey.
Yeah, what a great match. Everything I expected of it. We see Andrew Tackett shooting in on his double leg. Then goes over as Rocha tries to get a waist lock and roll him over, but Tackett stays on that double leg. Now we see another situation. Rocha trying to get the back of Andrew Tackett, but Andrew Tackett attacking the leg to counter that back take. He gets in on a leg here, but nothing materializes. Now we see the open guard pass from Andrew Tackett, but we see Wagner Rocha wrestle up to that single leg. Now we see Andrew Tackett trying to pass the half guard, but no, the kickback onto the bowl wall. One of my favorite moments of the match here. And now we see this guard pass here from Tackett trying to get around, never really establishing a full pass because Rocha gets to his knees on that single leg. Does a good job, but Tackett does get the back here. Puts that first hook in.
It's a great job. The champion's fate is in the hands of the judges. Here's Justin with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have your winner by unanimous decision and still UFC BJJ welterweight champion of the world, Andrew Tackett.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm with your winner, Andrew Tackett. Congratulations, man. 3rd title defense, and you do it against a guy like Wagner Rocha. What does it mean to defend your belt against someone like him?
It means the world. Wagner's a beast, guys. Give it up for Wagner. All right, I just want to say one thing and one thing only.
43 is too old again. 43 is not too old, guys. Let's go.
Let's go. I think Wagner can attest to this. Doing your life without Jesus Christ sucks.
Amen. That's our Lord and Savior. John 3:16. If you don't know, you need to know.
With all the turmoil and chaos going in the world, Jesus is my peace in the midst of the storm. And if you guys don't know who Jesus is, give him a chance. And if you've already given him a chance, give him a second chance. Life is not worth living without knowing who Jesus is and knowing how much he loves you. So I dedicate this to Jesus. Let's go.
That's a beautiful message.
I told you I love this kid. People are like, say something. I'm like, I have nothing to say bad about him. His heart is pure. His family's got a pure heart. I've known him and his brother for such a long time. I'm proud of him. That's what I told him the day we stepped in here and I got the chance. I said, hey man, I'm happy to be here with you and I'm proud of you.
Wagner, before we let you get out of the bowl, I want to ask you, a lot of people said no to this matchup against Andrew. You told me that you said yes because of a lot of these opportunities, you've gotten in your life are from this. What did you prove tonight by competing here?
Say yes. That's what I proved. Just say yes and be happy that you enjoy every moment. Like this was a tough 3 weeks for me to get here and make this weight. I was a little heavier than I would normally if this wasn't my weight class. But I was like, man, I got to give this opportunity and I got to go chase it. Because if I say no, what are the chances of me ever getting it again, Now I'm here, I proved myself. The last 3 opponents Andrew had, he walked through them real quick. And today I made him earn it. I made him earn every minute of it, and
yes, he did.
So it wasn't easy and I enjoyed it, and I'm happy, win or lose, I'm happy to be where I am. I'm happy to be able to share these moments and wish it was mine, but it is what it is. God has another plan, so.
I'll say one more thing too. I get why you guys are scared. I wouldn't want to fight me either. But quit being a baby, step up and try to come take it from me.
Andrew, talk to me a little bit about how deep you had to dig in that 3rd round. We heard you go to your corner, say you maybe popped your rib. What were you experiencing and how deep did you have to dig?
No, I feel good. I didn't hurt anything.
Okay.
It was a war. Wagner made me push for it. The man's a dog. That's all there is to it. He made me earn it.
When do you want to come back and who would you like?
Soon as possible. Whoever wants to take it. There's so many names out there that are saying no. So whoever wants it and whoever's willing to say yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the champ and the challenger, Andrew Tackett and Wagner Rocha.
All he does is win, win, win. And still, Andrew Tackett, he had to earn his dinner tonight. That was a great match here at UFC BJJ 7, and he has thrown down the gauntlets to the challengers. The champ, the resident
of Las Vegas, mixing it up with the MMA guys, trying to make BJJ cool again, in his own words. And he did a great job tonight. Wagner Rocha deserves a lot of credit as well. Welcome down to the commentary booth. Gents, we had a lot of great action tonight. 5 finishes out of 8. You know that I'm coming to you for your big performance. But shall we talk about the main event first? I mean, I'm going to come to Dean first, because your old buddy Wagner Rocha showed up.
Yeah, and he almost should be my performance of the night, because Wagner went out there and did something that no one else could do. He pushed Andrew Tackett when we thought it was going to be impossible. We thought that Andrew Tackett couldn't be pushed this way. He had destroyed everybody that was in front of him, young, talented individuals. And Wagner Rocha came out there and did something different tonight. He showed that even at 43 years old, he can still compete.
Well, he did exactly what I said he was going to do. He was going to come out and make this as close to a fist fight as he possibly could. And you saw Andrew Tackett. I don't know if I believe him when he said that his rib is fine, because we heard the audio. He's got a black eye. He looks roughed up. He looks tired. Wagner did what Wagner does, and I hope that we see him back here in the bowl, because he is a lot of fun. He's a fierce competitor, and man, it was just, he'll chew these young competitors and spit them out if they can't hang.
Yeah, what an inspiration, Wagner Rocha, but of course, congratulations to Andrew Tackett. We had a lot of great performers tonight. I am interested to see who really stuck out for you. Michael Chiesa, our newly retired athlete. What say you?
Well, before you run the B-roll, I gotta say I'm spoiled, guys, because tomorrow night I'm headed to Philadelphia for CFFC BJJ 17. We got 10 fights on Fight Pass, so make sure you tune in the main event. We got Sean Yadamarco versus Oliver Taza. Taza, we've seen him here at the Apex. These guys are trying to get a shot to compete here at UFC BJJ. Now we can get to my performance of the night. My performance of the night, I gotta go with Lucas Valente. For him to come in here, like I said, that 3rd round was the most exciting round that I have seen, going all the way back to the Fight Pass Invitational days. It's a heated rivalry. Carlos Enriquez thought Lucas Valente is just a guy that's boring and wants to play for points. Lucas Valente said, hey, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna play for blood. These guys got into an absolute slugfest in that 3rd round, exchanging submission. Carlos Enriquez throwing up flying submission attacks. Valente battles through fatigue, gets the win, gets the belt. It was incredible.
Dean, who you got?
Well, I'm going to go with Declan Moody. Now, this guy came in, he had one opponent in mind, Nicholas Marigali. That switched on him very quickly. He had to take on a different challenger. Now, I had high expectations from him based on the words of my man, Nicky Rod. But he went out there and showed it all. He showed power, he showed skill, he showed agility. When he got on top, he was able to just bulldoze through Patrick Audio's guard. But then we saw this footlock attempt here, and then he got around to the back. Again, he showed everything I like to see in a man of that size. And at only 225 pounds, we know that he can fight at heavyweight or even take on Mason Fowler at light heavyweight, which I think will be a fantastic matchup.
Oh, I love that idea, Dean. You're so smart. So smart.
We have a lot to celebrate as well. I do want to give a little shout out to Rafa Feda, a young man, 18 years old, on this stage. Really dynamic game. He's got a very bright future ahead of him as well. We are just about wrapped up here for UFC BJJ 7. It is time to put it in the books. We had 3 title fights, but we came away with 2 new champions. We saw Rebecca Lima go home happy, and then it was a quadrilogy between the 2 men at lightweight, and Lucas Valente goes home the happier man. Look at what it meant to the young father, and then it was the old guard versus the new guard. And we saw Andrew Tackett do what he does. He found a way, and we will see him again. Full-on weekend of action from the Meta Apex. Moicano Duncan, Zuffa Boxing 5. Thank you for the company. We're out.